for YouTube confirmation.
We are live now.
Sir, please start. We are on live, sir.
Okay. Good morning and welcome you all to one-day webinar on NAAC accreditation process organized by Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya, Haldibari, Cooch, Behar, West Bengal, in collaboration with NAAC Bengaluru, Karnataka. The prime agenda of today's webinar is to sensitize participants as to how NAAC assess and accredit institutions of higher learning, with all objective of helping them to work continuously to improve the quality of education. Over the last few years, NAAC has made it mandatory for all higher education institutions to assess and accredit themselves by NAAC peer teams. As we routinely check up our health to keep ourselves physically fit, in the same way, NAAC check the health of our respective colleges after every 5 years. Today, our speakers will talk about how to prepare our HEIs, that is higher education institutions, and face the NAAC peer team and other related issues, giving emphasis on NAAC RAF, that is Revised Accreditation Framework. Today, our first speaker is Dr. Ganesh Hegde sir. Ganesh Hegde sir is a very famous person in this field. The more I say, the less it would be regarding him. I think there is hardly any person who is associated with NAAC or IQAC and do not know the name of Ganesh Hegde sir. And our second speaker is Dr. Niron John Roy sir, a very famous professor in economics and former IQAC director, and presently he is teaching in Assam University. Apart from these two learned speakers, we have among us Dr. Dev Kumar Mukherjee, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Cooch Behar Panchanan Burma University and patron of our today's program. From the core of my heart and on behalf of my all colleagues of my college and IQAC team of my college, I welcome you all once again. And our program will start with a song, inaugural song, that will be sung by a student of our college, Beditabbo Goswami. Now it is over to Beditabbo.
Please unmute. Please unmute.
শোনা যাচ্ছে?
Yes, continue.
হ্যাঁ, নমস্কার সব স্যার ম্যাডামদের, আমি শুরু করছি। We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. আমরা করব জয়, আমরা করব জয়, আমরা করব জয় নিশ্চয়। এই মনের গভীরে আছে প্রত্যয়, আমরা করব জয় নিশ্চয়। একদিন সূর্যের ভোর, একদিন স্বপ্নের ভোর, একদিন সত্যের ভোর আসবে। এই মনে আছে বিশ্বাস, আমরা করি বিশ্বাস, একদিন সত্যের ভোর আসবে। We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome someday. we shall overcome someday.
Thank you, Vedabha Goswami. I hope by the grace of God Almighty, we will overcome the present situation that is continuing the pandemic situation. Thank you. Now, I would like to request Principal of our college, Dr. Turun Bandopadhyay, to deliver his welcome speech.
Thank you, Professor Ajim. Good morning and warm welcome to you all. On behalf of Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya, I convey my sincere regards and thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Devkumar Mukhopadhyay, Dr. Ganesh Hegde, Advisor NAAC, and Professor Niron John Roy, who is also associated with NAAC and presently acting as eminent professor in economics at Assam University. I congratulate you all and express my sincere regards and thanks to you and warm welcome to you all. As you know that I also welcome the participants, my colleagues, and the technical support team. As you know that since last 6 months, we are to some extent facing some obstacles or barrier to continue our normal activities. But side by side, it is also true that we are not stopped. We are continuing our all activities, may it be academic or administrative or other activities. Obviously, we are facing some obstacles. But I am sure since we are united and we have a strong will force, we will overcome the situation and normalcy will prevail very soon and we will be in a well position. However, during such period, the internal quality assurance cell of our college have resolved to organize a webinar on assessment and accreditation procedure of higher education institutes. And our coordinator, Professor Samuel Ajim, he has made direct contact with National Assessment and Accreditation Council, Bengaluru, and to extend their kind support. And we are very happy, rather I feel proud to announce that NAAC Bangalore has extended their support and wish to help us, and also to eminent speaker from NAAC has been deputed, and I think their discussion will no doubt enrich us a lot. So from the core of my heart, I extend my I extend my cooperation, I extend my thankfulness to the NAAC officials. At the very beginning, I would like to express my sincere thanks and regards to Dr. Devkumar Mukhopadhyay, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Cooch Behar Panchanan Burma University, who in spite of his busy schedule has kindly agreed to remain present in this webinar and to deliver his inaugural speech. Vice Chancellor Sir, I express my sincere thanks from the core of my heart and my regards to you for attending this webinar. I would like next Dr. Ganesh Hegde, an eminent educationist and a very well-known name in the area of assessment and accreditation of higher education institutes. Presently, advisor of NAAC Bangalore, is our first eminent speaker. Sir, I cordially welcome you and we really feel proud to be associated with you. Dr. Hegde was at the helm of NAAC Bangalore for last 2 decades and at present serving NAAC in several capacities. As an esteemed academician, he has delivered lectures on quality enhancement of higher education institutions, both at national and international level seminars. Dr. Hegre has organized a good number of orientation programs for training of NAAC assessors comprising of vice chancellors, head of the departments, deans of various universities, and also college principals. During 2013 to 15, he was a member of International Network of Quality Assurance Agencies in Higher Education. Actually, Dr. Hegre is the brainchild of designing the assessment manuals of higher education institutions, as well as the internal quality assurance guidelines framework. He has authored books on use of ICT in higher education, 7 action points of IQAC, best practices of IQAC, etc. Actually, his motto is to instill quality and excellence in higher education institutions. Sir, once again, I express my heartfelt thanks to you for your kind support and participation in this webinar. Thank you. Next, our second eminent speaker, Professor Niron John Roy, a renowned professor in economics and ex-dean of Assam University. Having a vast experience, about 30 years in the field of teaching and research, Professor Roy has authored 11 books and 71 research articles in various national and international journals. Professor Roy, with his special interest in quality issues in higher education institutions, are associated with NAAC for more than a decade and has gathered vast experience during his visit to a good number of higher education institutions as an assessor in various capacities. Professor Roy is associated with formulation of revised accreditation framework and also IQAC manuals and modalities. Professor Roy is a recipient of European Fellowship for his postdoctoral studies in Germany during the period 2015 and 2016. I cordially welcome you, sir, in this webinar and feel proud to be associated with you. My regards to you, sir. My hearty welcome to all other participants from various places, not only within the state, but beyond the states. And I express my gratitude to the director and other officials of NAAC Bangalore for being the collaborator of this program. Once again, before I finish, let me welcome you all and convey my heartfelt thanks and warm regards with an expectation of a very fruitful and lively discussion and exchange of thoughts and ideas in this webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, Principal Sir.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Now I would like to request Vice Chancellor Sir to deliver inaugural speech. Vice Chancellor Sir, please unmute.
Thank you, Professor Ajit. At
Thank
the
you,
very
sir.
outset, I extend my sincere thanks to the principal of the college, Dr. Tarun Banerjee, my old friend, and other teachers and non-teaching staff of this college for organizing this beautiful webinar, and also in this NAAC sponsored webinar. Hegreji is there, who is very much famous in this field of accreditation, and Professor Roy also is there from Assam University. I think it will be a beautiful one, beautiful presentation. Virtually, NAAC assessment accreditation is very important from this point of view, from this time, as because new education policy is coming. And in new education policy, the name of NAAC will be changed to national assessment. That is, now it is NAAC, NAAC, and it will be NAC, that is National Assessment Council, not Assessment and Accreditation Council. However, whatever it may be, the accreditation will be there. And what I want to say is that since NAAC started its journey, a number of times they have changed the process of accreditation. Since July 2017, again they have changed the process, and now it is continuing. And I'm sure when new economic policy will come into force and some changes will be there, there is no doubt in it. As because if you look into the new education policy, you will see that there will not be any affiliated colleges, and almost all the colleges will get accredited by the agency, and who will get 3,000 or more students, there will be autonomous college, degree granting autonomous college. So in order to get that status of degree granting autonomous college, so one college will have to get accredited by the council, new council that will come into force. My question is that whatever the form, all the colleges will be required to prepare themselves. And what I feel as I have some first-hand experience regarding NAAC assessment and accreditation, and what I feel already, Azim already at the very outset, he already pronounced that as we every year on a very periodical basis, we check our health. So naturally, it is required to check the health of the institution. It is very right. And not only that, what I feel, so assessment accreditation process, one educational institution can understand its weakness and also its strength also. So it is absolutely essential to get accredited. All the higher educational institutions will have to go assessment process as the new education policy needs it. And secondly, so far I understand from the recent NAAC accreditation policy, that is, there are 7 broad heads. Hegraji is there, Professor Roy is there, they are experts, and they will be delivering lectures on this topic. But I just like to touch upon some points. That is, there are about 7 broad heads, and out of that 7 broad heads, about 32 subheads are there. 32, 33 subheads are there for affiliated colleges and postgraduate colleges, also for universities. And what I feel that all the educational institutions will have to give equal importance to all the subheads, as I have experienced that when one higher educational institution goes for accreditation process, what happens? They give emphasis on some points and they used to neglect even some points. And what happens for that? If in any educational institution gets sufficient score in one head, but in some heads, I have seen in my lifetime that in some heads also they get simply 0. And one most important thing among the affiliated colleges is that, as because it is college, that's why there is one tendency that when one teacher gets appointed and he starts neglecting the research activities, most of them, though not all, but most of them. That's why what happens, publication, research activities, all these things are less in number. That's why what happens, no? On that head, most of the colleges, they get less score. And also, for example, another thing I should mention that student support center, student feedback, all these things throughout the year we have to do all these exercises. Otherwise, what happens? No, at the very fag end of the time, when the knock, when the accreditation process is knocking at the door, we are not in a position to face all these things. As because now what happens now, all the quality assurance centers of all the colleges, they have to work throughout the year. It is not an exercise of 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 months. It is the exercise that is to be carried out throughout the year. However, Hegraji is there, Professor Roy is there, they will be delivering and they will be talking in details regarding the NAAC accreditation. And I also will request them that if they have some idea, especially Hegraji, I will request Hegraji that if he has any idea regarding the new concepts that is coming under new education policy, I will request him to say few words on this part also. Again, I express my sincere thanks to the college authority for inviting me in this beautiful seminar, and I am sure all the participants from different colleges, not only here, they are organizing it through YouTube, live lectures, all these things. Who will be enjoying this deliberation. I am sure they will be benefited by this presentation, and I am sure this webinar will come out with a flying color and it will be successful. And thank you very much again, and thank you for inviting me here. Thank you very much. Over to Ajam. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor. Thank you for your exhaustive lecture speech. Thank you, sir. And for the kind information of all, I have already requested Dr. Ganesh Hegre sir. On 18th, I have requested to deliver a speech on national education policy, and he will be perhaps accompanied by Amiyo Roth sir. So I will talk with Ganesh Hegre sir in this regard after the this webinar is over. Now I would request Dr. Ganesh Hegre sir. I do not think I need to give any introduction to Ganesh Hegre sir. Sir, it is please over to you. Now you deliver your lecture.
Yes. The screen is visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
It is visible. Hegre sir, visible.
Sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
Welcome to the program. On behalf of the NAAC and on behalf of the Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya, Haldibari, Cooch, Behar, West Bengal, I welcome each participant for this webinar. Our director, Professor S.C. Sharma ji, has sent a special message to the college for organizing this webinar for the benefit of the college as well as the other colleges who are viewing this webinar. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Tarun Bandyopadhyay ji for organizing this webinar for the benefit of the faculty member and all other stakeholders. I also take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Devkumar Mukherjee, the Vice Chancellor of the Cooch Behar Panchanan Burma University, and also especially the Dr. Samuel Ajim, Dr. Mohammad Ajim, for organizing this webinar for the benefit of the North Bengal region, and not only the Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya will be benefited, but all other colleges of the region also should be benefited. I thank you very much for your initiative, and welcome to the program for this webinar. I would like to pray the Gurudev for blessing us.
Sir, make it full screen, please. Uh, Go to the side slow and make it full screen.
Yes,
Okay,
I have
thank you.
made.
Okay, thank you, sir.
अखंड मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. My respect to all the teachers and the faculty members who are viewing this webinar. Let the Guru bless us. In the Sanskrit, there are meaning about the various text. Will be talking about the how Guru and Shishya Parampara is there. I just would like to bring two word. Guru means the Gukara Andhakarascha, the person who is removing the darkness from the mind is called the Guru. As the sunlight comes and the darkness will go, in the similar way, the Guru is the one who brings the light to your the mind and the body and the soul. So NAAC has got a vision statement stating that to make the quality as the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external quality evaluation, promotion and sustenance initiative. Now the self-study report which you are making or preparing is the self-evaluation. External quality evaluation is the NAAC which does once in 5 years or maximum once in 7 years as per the accreditation status of the colleges. NAAC has also taken up some promotion and sustenance initiative. How the vision statement should be there. There are many statements you will be come across, how to write a vision statement and how to act upon it. I just would like to share with you that the vision statement should be simple, specific and too short in few sentences. What happens is that long sentences may not convey the meaning. The vision statement should be very simple and it should convey the meaning. NAAC has also got the mission statement. What is the mission statement? From the vision we will be going to the mission statement. The periodic assessment of accreditation, the stimulating the academic environment, encouraging the self-evaluation, accountability and autonomy and quality research studies, and also collaborate with the other stakeholders. As you all know that the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Mukherjee has told that in the long run, there are autonomous colleges used to come and they will come. My request to all the faculty members is that kindly try to get the autonomous status for your colleges so that in the long run, it will enable you to get your own academic environment, good academic environment in the colleges. And there are core values are there. The NAAC has got the 5 core values. My request to each college to implement upon it. For example, national development. We are writing a paper or our student will be participating in the curricular and the co-curricular activities, or maybe the NCC, NSS also, or maybe the student will be getting the scholarship for the sports and the cultural also. So these are all contributing to the national level. When you are at the national level, it is contributes not only faculty, it is also the student. Fostering the global competencies among the students, the skill development program and other things. As the Vice Chancellor was speaking about in the inaugural thing about the new education policy, the new education policy focuses upon the skill development of the things. It also talks about the credit transfer and credit way of looking the credit banking. So the new education policy will focus upon the new frontier areas where the students are the focal point where their improvement has been taken care. Inculcating the value system among the students. Suppose if you say the core values of the institution, for example, just I would like to share with you that the Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya will be having a good discipline. So the discipline is one of the value system is imbibed. The time management, the skill development, the computer literacy, the knowledge component. So various facts and figures will be there that adds a value to the system. For example, the environmental sustainability, use of paper less, non-use of the plastic material. So these are all, maybe it looks like a small thing, but it inculcates a value system among the student. Promoting the use of technology. Today we are in a pandemic situation of the COVID-19. So use of technology has came into the picture. Every teacher of the many educational institutions have transformed themselves into the technological oriented faculty member to promoting the use of technology. If at all we are doing 1 to 4 sincerely, then the quest for excellence comes as a byproduct of that one. My request to the institution is that whatever you are doing, and you make it in a small record purpose, and kindly make the photographs and the activity based institutional thing, so that you will have one or the other day it will come to your help. I just would like to share with you a few things about the institutional information for quality assessment. Kindly go to the NAAC website, and apply online will be there. In the apply online, before you are going, kindly register in the higher education portal. Where you have to go, in the top, HEI will be there. There are one more assessor will be there. So kindly click the HEI, then you will come to know that name of the institution, and enter the email ID and the mobile number of your institution. For example, if your institution is already undergone accreditation, kindly put that are you previously accredited? You say yes. Then you have to give the accreditation status of the previous things with the records of the certificate. So the registration process will help you to ask a question to the NAAC. So any person or any institution may ask any question to the NAAC within 24 hours or the 48 hours. The institutions will get the reply from the NAAC. What is required for the IQA is that the affiliating university letter, the current academic year, a letter should be from the affiliating university. AISHE certificate is more important, and approval from the UGC. If at all you are having the UGC approval, you kindly give. Without the UGC 12B also, NAAC is undertaking the assessment of the college or a university also. The UGC 12B is only to get the grant, but the affiliating university letter is must. AISHE certificate you need to give. AISHE code is mandatory for the colleges for undergoing the accreditation. Uploading the AQR in the website for subsequent cycle, which I will talk on the criteria 6. Undertaking by the higher education institution should be given. What is an undertaking? So and so college will be following all the government norms and everything. There is a undertaking pro forma is there in the NAAC website. You can look into it. Self-declaration should be given. Self-declaration means that which computer you will be uploading your institutional information. That means the data where you will be uploading, that you have to give in the self-declaration. So these are the 7 documentary evidences. If you are having, then you go ahead with the submission of the IQA to the NAAC. Then the timeline, I will come to the next slide. I will tell you. What is required for the subsequent cycle is that the annual quality assurance report should be submitted. So the IQAC will be submitting the annual quality assurance report to the NAAC. The last 6 months, the validity period ends. Before that, your application should be pending to the NAAC. For example, let us say March 21st, 2021, the institution is applying to the NAAC because the validity period ends on that day. So previous to the 6 months means November, December, January, February, March. So the last within 5 to 6 months, the institution need to submit the IQA to the NAAC. Then only the validity period which will be extended. That means before ending the validity period, that is for example 21st March 2021, if it is the validity period ends, before that the institution's IQA should be submitted to the NAAC. Then only the validity period will be extended by the NAAC. What you need in the NAAC tab is that in the higher education institution website of the HEI, you kindly upload the data template, annual quality assurance report, or accreditation outcome document like certificate, grade sheet, and etc. My request to the IQA or the IQAC coordinator is that they kindly make all the data template ready, because it will take 6 months to 1 year to prepare all type of the documentary evidences. Yesterday when I was speaking to one of the IQAC coordinator, he was telling, so we need to create more than the 1,000 records for the purpose of the NAAC, because 5 years you have to keep the records of the institutions. So one individual person will be doing several work, but if it comes to the institution of a 5-year documentary evidence, a lot of documents will be there. So scanning and putting in a right document at a right place is more important. My request to the coordinator is that kindly prepare all the documents, scan it and put it on the website, and let it be password protected first. Whenever you need that document, you can make the open for the public, but other than that, you can keep as a password protected document, so that you need not to again and again dig the documentary evidences, which will be available in your institutional website. So if you register in the NAAC portal, for example, as I told you, if you register in the higher education portal here, so you will be able to ask a question to the NAAC. If you does not register in the higher education portal, you cannot ask the question to the NAAC. So my request to the institution is that whether you are going for accreditation this year or after 2 years, that is a different story altogether. But you can ask the question to the NAAC if you are registered with the NAAC. So kindly register in the NAAC portal. So there are various stages will be there. Quickly, I will go through the different stages of the NAAC assessment and accreditation process. My request to the institution is that kindly download all the manuals and guidelines from the website of the NAAC, and then kindly download the standard operating procedure, and DVB clarifications will be sought after your submission of the SSR, and student satisfaction survey will also be on. The timeline. The Einstein some time back has said everybody is having the 24 hours only. Nobody is having the 25th hour. So within 24 hours, everybody has to work. So the timeline is more important. As we are telling you the time, NAAC is also bound to reply to the NAAC and to the higher education institution within a time-bound manner. Registration should be completed within 15 days. SSR submission from the HEI should be there within 45 days. In the COVID-19 situation, some extension will be given to the higher education institution also. Data validation and verification will be completed within 21 days. Announcement of the DVV after the DVV clarification is over, within 7 days, the pre-qualification has to be declared. That means out of the 93 metrics or 96 metrics, 25% of the matrices of the 58 or 60 matrices of the quantitative, 25% they should pass. Then only they will be called as the pre-qualified. So peer assessment will be done only for those institutions which are pre-qualified. That will be conducted within 60 days. The calculation of the CGPA of the quantitative and the qualitative and the student satisfaction survey will be made lastly within 30 days. So full milakar within 6 months to the 7 months, down the line, the NAAC would like to complete the process of the accreditation. Now, there are matrices, as our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Muhammad Samiul Azim, has told that the revised accreditation framework came into the picture in the 2017. Now, I will be talking in the next slide about how these things are coming into the picture about the quantitative and the qualitative. Now, there are 7 criteria there. Curricular aspect, teaching, learning, evaluation, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, and institutional values and best practices. What are the new things have come? The new things indicators have come: the student satisfaction survey, innovations ecosystem, alumni engagement, institutional values and social responsibility, and institutional distinctiveness. 2 things I would like to just share with you. Now, the student satisfaction survey, as the pandemic situation is there, every student will be having the email ID. NAAC is also 2 years back only it has thought and made the student satisfaction survey is compulsory. Alumni engagement is another thing which NAAC has suggested, that all alumni of the every respective colleges should be registered under the alumni association. Institutional distinctiveness is another thing, as 2 institutions cannot be compared with the other institution. The institution has to give what is their distinctive from the others. Just to share with you that the DNA of the Dr. Ajim will be different. That the DNA of the Dr. Mukherjee and the Dr. Ganesh Hegde or Dr. Bandyopadhyay will be different. What is that? The difference is that institution has to give in the institutional distinctiveness. There's a 20-mark question is available. So 93 metrics or 96 metrics are there for a UG and PG colleges. This is what I would like to share with you in the previous slide, just sharing with you that the UG PG colleges are there. What is a UG college? A UG college is the one where only BA, BSc, BCom will be there, or BBA courses will be there. The colleges which are having even a single program of the PG also will be called as a PG college. For example, you may be having one program of the MA, or one program of the MSc, or one program of the MBA will be there in the PG college. Those colleges will be considered as the PG college only. So our request to the institution is that to understand there are 7 criteria are there, 31 or 32 key indicators are there, qualitative and quantitative metrics are there, 35 or 36 metrics are there, the qualitative, and the quantitative comes with a 58 or 60 metrics, and totally there are 93 or 96 metrics are there for the evaluation process. Our request to the institution is that kindly download the templates which are available in the NAAC portal. So go to the NAAC website and put the search for the Excel sheets of the data template. You will be able to get in the website. Kindly download and prepare yourself in the same format only for the submission of the your self-study report to the NAAC. What you need to look into the thing is that executive summary. Executive summary should come highlight with the main features, including the SWOT analysis, introductory note, criteria-wise summary, and also an overall impression of the college. Now, quickly I will go through the criteria 1 to 7, and I will take around 20 to 25 minutes from you just to share with you how exactly NAAC is looking this criteria wise, and also how validation happens. As you all know that NAAC is asking that every institution should have an academic calendar, and also it should be communicated, evaluation methodology should be communicated to the student. In the similar way, we are communicating to you the accreditation evaluation procedure, how exactly NAAC is looking after, and also the calculation, how it has been done for the evaluation of the colleges. For example, in the criteria 1, curricular aspect, curriculum planning and implementation, academic flexibility, curriculum enrichment, and feedback system are there. So the totally the 100 mark is further divided into 20, 30, 30, and 20. Further, this curriculum planning of the 20 mark is divided into 6-mark question, 8-mark question, or a 4-mark question, or a 2-mark question. So like that, further it is divided into the metrics wise. From the criteria, it comes to the key indicator. From the key indicator, it goes to the metrics level. So that institution will be able to understand in a proper manner. Now, ensure the effective curriculum delivery like well-planned and documented procedure. In sometimes back, in one of the English proverb states that if you are not planned means you are planned to fail. So we request the institution not to fail, to come to the succeed with a good planning. The planning is more important, whether it is a monthly test, whether it is a sudden test, whether it is an open book examination, whether it is an academic calendar, whether it's an end semester examination, or it is a final semester examination. How exactly the things are done in the curriculum delivery is more important. So unless it comes as in the syllabus, it will not be able to cover up during the transaction. So adheres to the academic calendar, including the continuous internal evaluation is more important. This metric comes as the qualitative metric. The quantitative metric comes like a design and development of curriculum on the add-on courses or a certificate courses or a diploma courses. For a diploma course and an add-on course, you need to get the approval from the university. For a certificate course, you may not get this affiliation or a recognition from the university. That is not at all a problem. But for an add-on course and a diploma course, you need to get an approval from the affiliating university. Choice-based credit system and the elective course system is one of the things which comes as a question for the evaluation process, and it is a quantitative data. Another question comes with the percentage of courses of the project work, field work, or internship. For example, just to share with you, in the Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya, we have a political science department. Whether political science department can have an internship? Yes, they can have. My request, for example, hypothetically, it's my way of viewing. Suppose the political science department is there. Now, where this political science student can get the internship? Political science student can get an internship in the political party itself. So, if suppose in the 2021 June, there will be some election will be there. Whatever may be the small local or the MLA or MP or whatever the election. Now, suppose if you say the democracy is good and how it can be improved, you make a one competition among the student of the final year student. So then those students who are coming 1, 2, 3, you can send them to the some political parties for the 6 days to 10 days, so that you will be able to know that how political rally will be done, how political strategy will be done, how language makes it more important, how region makes it more important, what are the issues which are coming up. So the student will be able to make a good internship in the some political parties. My request to the institution is that if at all they have done then good internship, he may become a good leader. After the 10 years down the line, the same student of your college may become an MP or an MLA. Who knows how exactly it can happen. My request to the institution is that kindly work out some of the field work and the project work based learning, so that your internship will be taken care by the different industries or the societies. Number of students taking up the project is also more important. Whether it is a 50%, whether it is 60%, whether it is a 80%, how many percentage of the students are undertaking this project work? That is also more important. Curriculum enrichment and the graduate employability. Enrichment in a sense, it enrich the curriculum. Curriculum in a sense, broader perspective. Suppose if it is a commerce, suppose if it is a political science. So graduate employability, graduates means the third year when they come
Sorry,
out.
sir. Sorry for the interruption. Excuse me, sir. Your slides not visible.
Sir?
So stop sharing and share again.
Okay, sir.
Go to stop sharing and share again.
I am just doing.
Someone presenting the screen. So your screen on the behind.
Okay.
Sorry for the interruption, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem. I will just do it, sir.
Now it's coming. Go to the slides.
It's coming.
Okay.
Curricular aspect is coming, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. Yes.
Yes.
I'll make a
So
full.
please make it full screen, sir.
Yeah,
Make
it's
it-
coming.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Continue, sir.
Graduate employability is more important. NAAC is asking the one question: how many students have been placed? Some one question is there in the criteria 5th. Now, from criteria 1 to 5th, there is a link will be there. How graduates should be employable. Your curriculum, if it is good, then it will all happens. I just would like to give one example what the principal of the Andhra has told sometimes back. He told in Ganesh ji, हमारा कॉलेज में जो भी बच्चे हैं BA, BSc, BCom, all will be placed because from the first year to the third year when they are going, every student should have the computer literacy, skill development program, and also the vocabulary in the sense oral skill. So presentation. Every student from the first year to third year, every student has to make the computer usage, has to make the presentation, and their skill will be developed. So the college is proudly stating that their employment ratio is from the 60 to 70%, because another 30% they may be going to the higher education also. So the graduates employability or the graduates outcome is more important. So institution has to make such type of the activities in the institution. Feedback collected from the students, parents, alumni, and also the employer, and their implementation in the curriculum is more important. For example, just to share with you that the program means that the BA, BSc, BCom. What is a course? A course is a paper or a subject with a specified number of credits or an hours, whether it's a 30 contact hours or a 2 hours contact hours per week will be considered as the 1 credit. In the next slide, I will tell you. Cultures in the, suppose for example, what are the papers in a history? For example, you will be having cultures in the Indian subcontinent, history of India, transformation in the early modern Europe. Some of the topics you will be covering, that is called the paper. A paper is a one where a course will be designed by each faculty member, either by the faculty member or from the university. What is a core course and a versus elective? In the choice-based credit system, suppose if it is a BA honors or a BCom honors or a BSc honors, you will have a core paper. A core paper will be coming. Suppose, for example, totally 98 credits are there. There are some papers comes as the core paper, maybe 70 credit comes as the core, and 14 papers comes as a practical, and another paper will come as the 20 as the elective, and sometimes it's called a discipline specific elective. That means for a political science, history, economics, or microbiology, biotechnology, or a chemistry, you will have a discipline specific electives which will help the student to come to a higher level. Our request to the institution is that kindly make the choice based credit system which will enable the student to learn more subject during the 3 years or 2 years where they will be there in your college. So if, for example, in the chemistry major paper, you may have a course paper, elective paper, or the theory paper and the practical paper. So for example, just to share with you that there are some compulsory paper like English communication and environmental science is a compulsory for all students. Like chemistry will have the inorganic and the physical chemistry. It's for a first 1 semester I have taken as an example. Now, discipline specific elective, what are those things? Discipline specific papers are the one. For example, in the chemistry, you will be having the inorganic solids or polymer chemistry, or a research methodology for chemistry, industrial chemicals, instrumental methods for analysis, and also the analytical methods for the chemistry, or maybe computers in the chemistry. So these are some of the things which you can make up, and also the student can submit the dissertation also. For example, how can a skill enhancement courses can be done, or a 2 credit or a 4 credit paper you can make, or a 2 paper or a 4 paper, or a 2 credit. So what is our credits? Credits may be made out of the number of hours which the course content will be having. Suppose 2-hour lecture for a particular 1 week, if it has been taken, then it will be converted as a 1 credit course. So IT skills for chemist, chemical technology, chemoinformatics, business skills, pharmaceutical chemistry, or a pesticide chemistry. These are some of the enhanced skill enhancement courses you can do it. Now, what are all the value added courses or add-on courses? For example, add-on courses are the one which adds the value to the program. For example, a student from the history, they can take up as the TV production. A student from the commerce can take a TV production. A student from the science also can take up the TV production. So it may help the student to go to the journalism or mass communication, or his knowledge component upgradation also. Because that the 3 years where the student will be there with you in a college, he can utilize all the time available for the good knowledge and also the skill component. Suppose what is a value added course? For example, in the commerce, a student may take up the value added courses. Add-on course or a certificate course or the value added courses should have more than 30 contact hours. Then only the NAAC will be considering this type of the courses as a certificate or a value added course. Suppose, for example, in the commerce, you may have the banking and insurance, the certificate course on the practical taxation, certificate program on the GST, certificate course on the capital market also you can do it. Our request to the institution, whether it is a value added or add-on courses, it should have a curriculum, it will have the examination things, and more than 30 contact hours should be there, so that a minimum course component should be completed during the time. For example, just to share with you, as I told you, some of the things about the criteria wise, what institution can do it. Now, for example, how it will be evaluated. 1.3.1 talks about the institution integrates the cross-cutting issues relevant to the professional ethics, gender, human values, environmental sustainability into the curriculum. Now, this is the question is of the qualitative nature. That means this will be validated through the peer assessment. Now, 1.3.2 talks about the average percentage of the courses that include the experiential learning through the project work, field work, and NG. As I already told you, if the institutions are doing for the last 4 or 5 years, then you have to give the documentary evidence. So if you are going for the 2021 as an academic year, if you are going, then the 19-20, 18-19, 17-18, 16-17, 15-16. From 15-16 onwards, the next 4 to 5 years, you have to keep the data. So the 1.3.2 talks about the previous 5-year data which you have to keep. Those data should be in a format, name of the course, experiential learning, and name of the internship, where they went, how it has been done, which program has been done, which curriculum has been done, minutes of the board of studies or your academic council, or maybe the management of your body, that those things you have to give. Another thing is that an internship may be having a MOU, or maybe the experiential learning or some course may be having an MOU with this something. For example, Cisco certification you are having for electronic department or a computer science department. Then you may be having an MOU with the other agency. Those agencies may be teachers, some of them may be teaching you in the course completion. So the MOU should be signed between the two institutions, so that documentary evidence will be there. So NAAC is asking about the more or less a documentary evidence for the MOUs also, and various facts and figures also. How it will be calculated? Just to share with you that if you look into the qualitative metric 1.3.1, in the third key indicator like curriculum enrichment, you will be having 1.3.1. In the 1.3.1, you will be having the, for example, is a qualitative metric where the peer team will come and will judge on a 0 to 4 scale. If you have been judged, for example, hypothetically 2 mark has been given, then you will get the 20. Suppose if you get the 4, you will get the 40. Maximum one can get in this particular any matrix is the maximum the 4. So in this 10 into 4, you will get the 40. 10 into 0, you may get 0 also. So this will be validated by the peer assessment. Suppose, for example, the quantitative metrics are validated through the DVV process. This is called the data validation and verification process. So 10 into 3, for example, if you are given a 3 on a 0 to 4 scale, then you will get the 30. For example, another score on a quantitative nature, if you get the 2, then you will get the 20. Maximum one can get is the 4. Minimum, there will be 0 also. For example, just to share with you that in this particular matrix, the institution has got the 70 mark. The weightage was 30. So 30 into 4, you will get the maximum 120. So institution has got the 70. So you can calculate a small GPA here also. But my request to all the IQAC coordinator is that kindly prepare your own chart where the quantitative and qualitative of all the 93 or 96 metrics, and you validate yourself for the benefit of the institution. For example, in the criteria 2, student enrollment, catering to student diversity, teaching learning process, teacher profile, evaluation process, student performance and learning outcomes, and student satisfaction survey. Now, in the second criteria, student to full-time teacher. What is a full-time teacher? A teacher who takes the 90% of the workload of a regular teacher, and if his or her appointment is for 1 year, and then against the sanction post, if it is there, he will be considered as the full-time teacher. So kindly go to the NAAC glossary for this purpose. So student-centric methods such as experiential learning, participative learning, problem-solving methodologies, depending upon the microbiology, biochemistry, biotechnology, or maybe chemistry, political science, history, you can make the participative learning also. You can make the problem-solving method also. You can make the experiential learning also based on the topic which the teachers are having. So depending upon that one, how you will make it that student-centric method, it is more important. ICT enabled tool for effective teaching is more important. Today with the pandemic situation, many teachers are converted themselves into the ICT mode. So this ICT mode, how it will be effective, that is more important. Ratio of the mentor to student. For example, just to share with you how exactly it calculates. So let us say that the Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya students are having 1,910 students are there. For example, let us say. So there are 38 teachers are there. 38 into 1,920. So the computer will automatically calculates the ratio of the mentor to the student. So it's not the NAAC is calculating. Computer automatically calculates the ratio of the mentor to the student. So your job is to give the proper number of the student and proper full-time teacher number in the extended profile. Average percentage of the full-time teachers against the sanction post. For example, you have a sanction post is 52 and the full-time teachers are there 48. Then comes to the around 90% of the faculty are the full-time. Like that, it will be calculated automatically in the computer. So full-time teachers with a PhD. For example, there are 23 teachers are there. 16 teachers are having the PhD. So then the full-time to the teacher ratio will be calculated with a PhD. So computer automatically calculates when you give the data to the NAAC in a proper manner. So before giving the documentary evidence or before giving the data to the NAAC, you have to doubly cross-check whether the data is correct or not. So NAAC is also asking the teaching learning process about the program outcome and course outcome of all the program. That means a course means a 2 credit or a 4 credit. A program means it's a 128 credit or a 98 credit, depending upon the choice-based credit system, you will be having the credits. So attainment of the program outcome and the course outcome. For example, just to share with you that attainment of the program outcomes is not only the class test or the monthly test or a sudden test or maybe the experiential learning. It's also how exactly student behavior is there, student attitudes are there. So that may be one of the things for the attainment of the program outcome and the course outcome. A course means a paper outcome in a 1 month or a 2 months period down the line, the students will be evaluated in the classes. Average pass percentage of the student, for example, 80% or 90% or 70%, there is a pass percentage is also one question has been asked. Then lastly, it is an online student satisfaction survey. In a later stage, I will be talking to you on the online survey. Finally, a student can take up the project work mentored by, evaluated by the teachers. So my request to the institution is to have the accreditation taxonomy. That means the words which the NAAC used for understanding the accreditation philosophy and the process and the procedures, you can look into it. The Bloom's has told earlier, creating a new knowledge is the ultimate goal of any teacher. So one of the college was talking about e-learning, ICT-based learning, brainstorming, peer teaching, activity-based learning, and also the regular review of the journals by the faculty members. So group learning is also another thing, and industry institutions interaction is another thing which they are doing. So these are some of the things which you can look into it. Now, how it will be calculated? For example, as I told you earlier, the qualitative method and quantitative method also. In this teaching learning process, there are two matrices are comes as the qualitative. On a 0 to 4 scale, if you evaluated yourself, the self-evaluation if you have done, then 20 into 2, you will get the 40. And if at all you are given the 3 for the qualitative on a peer assessment, so 15 into 3, you will get the 45. So full मिलाकर इसमें जो है 115 the institution has got. Now the maximum one can get in this particular matrix is 200. So now how to get the maximum score in a particular matrix? Depending upon that one, institution has to make their own strategy to come to the higher level of the thinking process. Now in the NAAC process, there are peer assessments are there. There are the system generated scores are there. What is a system generated score? All the quantitative nature questions are comes as a system generated score. All the questions which are related to the qualitative nature will come as a peer assessment. Peer assessment means on-site visit. System generated score means the DVV clarification will be happened, and then finally the score will be assigned to the particular matrix depending upon the nature of the question. So this is how the average percentage of the full-time teachers with a PhD during the last year will be calculated. Number of full-time teachers versus the number of full-time teachers with PhD. I just would like to share a small Hindi line with you. उजाला तो उनका होता है जो बार बार कुछ पाने के लिए उम्मीद रखते हैं, जो उनके लिए सवेरे नहीं होते, जो जिंदगी में कुछ भी पाने के उम्मीद छोड़ चुके हैं। तो उजाला तो उनका होता है जो बार बार हारने का बाद भी कुछ पाने के लिए उम्मीद रखते हैं। आप उम्मीद रखिए so that your research, innovations and extension will be good. As the Vice Chancellor has told already regarding the research, innovations and extension, the criteria third makes a lot of difference. That means criteria 1 and 2 also will have an influence on the criteria 3, and criteria 4 and 5 and 6 also will have an influence on the criteria 3. So resource mobilization, innovation ecosystem, research publication awards, extension activity and collaboration. These are the 5 key indicators are there for the third criteria. For example, innovation ecosystem for a UG, it is not there, or only for PG, this innovation ecosystem is there. So percentage of department having research, intellectual property rights, number of seminars, workshops, number of research paper, books and chapters, extension activities. These are some of the things which NAAC is looking. And the student participating in the extension activities such as Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Shresth Bharat Abhiyan, and Beti Bachao, Beti Badhao Andolan ke liye, number of extension and outreach activities, number of awards and recognition, number of linkages with the faculty member, student exchange, internship, field trip, on-job training, research, etc. will be also be considered in the third criteria. Number of functional MOUs with the national and international bodies is another thing. My request to all the institution is that kindly be part of the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and also the Make in India, Made in India, and the Digital in India and the Startup India program, because the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is the government of India's new initiative in the coming years. As you all know that this is a small thing for an innovation which I would like to bring it in front of you. Where there is a will, there is a way. A person who is not much educated, he is having the solar cell in his bike to make the repair. So if this local of the Indian are thinking different way, why can't our teachers can think differently, and students are main stakeholders which are there with them to make the innovations. For example, just to share with you that in this particular resource mobilization, this is how the calculation happens. So quantitative nature, all are quantitative nature, and it will be system generated score will be calculated. In the criteria 4, there are physical facilities, library, IT infrastructure, maintenance of the campus and infrastructure are there. ICT enabled facilities is another thing. Shodh Ganga, Shodh Sindhu, and e-journals, e-books, databases, outdoor, indoor stadium, yoga, gymnasium, e-content development, media center, Wi-Fi, bandwidth, internet, and student-to-computer ratio, maintenance of the campus, and dynamic institutional website. These are some of the things which are comes in the infrastructure and learning resources. In the student support and progression, see, there are the 140 or 130 metrics are weightages are there. Student support and progression, there is a 50 weightages there. Student progression will have the UG, PG, there is a small difference will be there, because innovations ecosystem has been adjusted here with this criteria. Student participation and activities, student progression, and also the alumni engagement is there. The NAAC is looking about how many free check has been provided by the government and non-governmental bodies, capacity building of the student, and also capacity building of the teachers, the language and communication skills, life skills, yoga, physical fitness, health and hygiene, guidance for the coaching, yoga, meditation, personal counseling, and transparent mechanism for timely redressal, and also the placement of the outgoing student is also another thing. So outstanding performance in the sports and cultural activities, student council and representation of the students, alumni association, and alumni contribution. I just would like to give one small example what the principals of some colleges have shared. In the alumni association, in the final degree, a student when he coming out of the college or a university also, he or she needs a TC. While giving the TC, he will be giving you some caution money which you have to return to them. During the caution money return, you can return to the student, and the student has to become an alumni association member. Many times the student does not need money at that particular thing, he need a TC. But your faculty member or your non-teaching staff has to make sure that all the student will be contributing to the alumni association. Depending upon the amount which you are fixing, you can take up the things. But my request is that small amount will make a long big amount during the coming years. So anti-ranking, prevention of sexual harassment, career guidance, and placement service is more important. Governance and leadership management, there are 5 key indicators are there: institutional vision, strategy development, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management and resource mobilization, and also the IQAC. Now, perspective plan and the strategic plan is more important. Administrative setup, e-governance is more important. Financial support and attending the conference, whether how many faculty have attended and how many faculty have been supported by the college is also more important. Faculty development program, for example, orientation, refresher, or the short-term courses, or maybe the webinar which we are doing is also, you can record it and also keep the documentary evidence with you for the claim to the NAAC or any other bodies which will be asking. So internal and external financial audits regularly. This is some of the things which you can do it. For me, it is the IQAC maybe taking up the job of the health of the institution. As the Vice Chancellor as well as our coordinator, Dr. Mohammad Samiul Ajim, has told that the NAAC is checking the health of the institution. My request to the institution is that before going to the doctor, better to keep ourselves healthy by doing the pranayama, bastrika, or maybe various exercises at our individual level, so that everybody will be a good healthy in the institution. If they could not do the yoga, meditation, or the pranayama, they can do the exercises, or a simple walking also makes a lot of difference. Simple skipping also keep the body thing. Or if they are good at the thing, they can go to gym and they can make. Now, my request to the institution is that as we are keeping the healthy as a body for the physical fitness, so we need to keep the academically also fit. My request to the institutions or a slogan is that physically fit, mentally alert should be the slogan for the IQAC. So the IQAC should do some strategic development in the institution. Learning outcome, academic and administrative audit, green audit, gender audit, and also the energy audit can be taken up by the IQAC. Participation of the NIRF ranking is another thing which you can look into it. Participation of the AISC data correctly, properly giving is more important. Submission of the annual quality assurance report to the NAAC is more important. Incremental improvements during the last 5 years. For example, just to give you an example, the first year the students are coming, average pass percentage is the 72, let us say. So the first year, second year, third year, if the students are there, whether we can make it 80% or the 90%. So depending upon this incremental growth, that means last year how many papers have been written? There are 52 international and the national paper has been written. So next year it should not come there to the 50. It should go to the 72 or the 80. So incremental growth of a particular institution should be done in the institutional thing. IQAC may develop their own IQAC logo for the benefit of the institution. What IQAC can do it, criteria 1 to 7, you can create your own filing system so that it will be helpful to you. Institutional values and best practices is the last criteria where institutional best practices have been promoted. So renewable energy, rainwater harvesting, green initiative, green practices, and environmental audit, and some of the things which you can take up. And code of conduct of the handbook can be created. If at all you are doing a good work in the institution, you can prepare your own code of conduct of the handbook, which will be followed by other institutions. Physical fitness, the physical facilities, provision of the lift, lamp and rails, brails and softwares, and resources available in the institution is more important. Differently abled students taken care by the institution is also more important. Finally, the national identity should be supported by the institution. You need to give the 2 best practices. The best practices are sometimes our former director, Professor Prasad, used to say that one. What are the best practices? Best practices are the borrowed practices. Somebody is doing something good, we can do better than those things which we can make up. That is also another way of looking as a best practices. Best practices also making, suppose for example, extension, research work, the e-content generation, e-governance, and various things which you will be doing in the institution may come across as the best practices. So you need to create your own best practices, and you have to discuss internally with the faculty members. Lastly, it is the institutional distinctiveness. As 2 persons are not similar, so your distinctiveness has to be highlighted in the SSR. This is about the SSR, which I have talked about the preparation of the self-study report. Now I will be talking about some procedural thing about the student satisfaction survey and accreditation outcome. So maximum one can opt out matrix is a 30 weightage. For example, sometimes the college says that this matrix is not applicable, that matrix is not available, applicable, like that. So maximum one can opt out is the 30 weightage in a particular criteria. or a 10 weightage in a particular criteria, maximum 30 to full milakar 3% of the total 100%. Now, criteria 1 to 7 are essential. All questions are essential. Optional metrics are only available for those institutions which are affiliated colleges, which are having 3, 4, 5, 6 criteria only. They can opt out. Now, this is the software developed by the NAAC, where you will be able to put in the Word file. For example, my request to the institution is that kindly prepare the Word file or Word thing in the institution. Then you can go on submitting to the NAAC. Data validation and verification. What is the data validation and verification? Data validation and verification is the measurement of the particular metric. For example, you have to give the extended profile to the NAAC. What is an extended profile? Total number of courses offered by the institution. Courses means number of papers. Number of programs offered, maybe 5, maybe 6, or maybe 10 or 11 or 12. Number of students who are currently on that academic year are there in that particular year, or on the campus they have to give. Number of seats earmarked for the reserve category, which you can look into it. Number of outgoing final year student, each year wise you have to give. Number of full-time teachers, I already told you the full-time teacher vocabulary, you can look into the manual. Number of sanction post year wise. Suppose, for example, sanction posted 52, 53, 51, 52, like that it will be there in a matrix wise, the chart wise, you can give the year wise. So this will be calculated against the each matrix. Now, the extended profile comes like this way in the NAAC portal as well as the NAAC manual. Now, as I already told you, this is how it will be calculated. Now, 5 kinds of the quantitative metrics are there. I just would like to tell you, quantitative metric comes with the year wise, you have to give the data. From the, suppose if you are going 1920 or 2021 if you are submitting to the NAAC, then previous 5-year data will be calculated. Suppose if you are going 2021, then 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20 data you have to give to the NAAC. Second question comes with the quantitative metrics with the percentage. For example, percentage of the programs in which choice-based credit system. So 5-year data will be calculated for the percentage. Another comes with the choice, A, B, C, D, E choice will be there. So not only the choice has to come with the supporting document. Suppose if you say 50 Mbps is our bandwidth, more than 50 is there. Now the bill of the, either it may be the any company, a bill you have to produce which shows that your bandwidth is more than 50 Mbps, or as authorized letter may be given from the either the BSNL or any private providers also. So another quantitative metric comes with the completed academic year, percentage of the undertaking field work and the research projects. So the percentage will be calculated, 80%, 78%, or the 22% or 15%, like that it will be calculated. Another method of the 5 kinds of the quantitative method is that quantitative metrics which automatically calculates the response from the metrics using, as I already told you, student to full-time teacher ratio. For example, there are 1,600 students are there in the campus and there are 52 teachers are there. So student to full-time teacher ratio will be calculated accordingly by the number of teachers and number of full-time teachers versus the student. Now these are some of the things which comes. For example, NAAC looks about the financial related to the 1st April to the 31st March. That is a thing. Publications NAAC is using for the 1st January to the 31st December. Academic year will be 1st June to the 31st May, which NAAC is calculating in the portal. Now, all the matrices of the NAAC will be calculated on a 0 to 4 scale. So, kindly remember that this will be calculated on a 0 to 4 scale. As I already told you, these things which I already told you. Now, I will just share with you that how exactly the DVV happens. DVV persons, there are NAAC has MOU with the 5 to 6 companies who will validate this data. This data will be sent to them. For example, you submitted a self-study report to the NAAC, and the same will be go to the DVV partner as a self-study report. They will be using this data and they will ask a question. For example, just to give you a bridge the gap. For example, in the DVV clarification, what happens is, for example, you have said that 52 teachers are having the PhD, let us say. So you have given the documentary evidence as the 50 only. So two faculty member, the PhD certificate you are not given. So what you need is that you have to bridge the gap. What is the gap? Two PhD, you have not given the documentary evidence. The DVV partner will be asking you the question that kindly provide the documentary evidence about the two faculty member. Then you can provide the documentary evidence. So this will make sure ensure that your validated points will be taken care by the DVV partner. Just to share with you that more than 5 MB data should not be there for the NAAC portal, but you can upload in the institutional website and give a link to the NAAC. Google Drive or the Microsoft Drive or Amazon Cloud, it should not be there. It should be there in the institutional website only. So maximum 15 days will be given to the clarification. So after the DVV clarification is over, all input will be communicated to the institution. For example, just to share with you that there are 4 types of the deviations. What is a positive deviation? For example, you have said that the percentage of students undertaking the field project is 78%. When you calculate the number of students and number of the documentary evidence, it will come to the 80%. Now the DVV partner will make it 80, and there is a less negative deviation is there. There is a more negative deviation. For example, just to give you one example, number of faculty members having the award, you have said that 12, but you have given the local awards and the some awards which are not national also, then it will not be considered. So then the negative deviation is that, suppose if you say that 12 faculty member having the award, the NAAC DV partner may consider 4. So another 8 may not be considered. So that will be the negative deviation, it will be more. So documentary evidence will not be there. For a documentary evidence, you have to cross-check with the standard operating procedure of the NAAC. There is a no deviation. Suppose if you say the pass percentage is the 82. So while coming to the cross-checking also will come to the 82, then there will be no deviation will be there. So there is a less deviation on the both the part will be there. The DVV clarification, suppose for example, it may be number of papers or number of PhD or number of national and international collaboration or like that will be there. Suppose if you said that 52 collaborations are there, when we come, it is only coming as a 51. So less deviation will be there on that particular matrix. So each matrix wise, you will be able to get this type of the deviation report in the computer itself. So once you submit the self-study report to NAAC, kindly look into the every day the portal. The portal means it's a face of the institution. It's like a mirror of your institution. You have to show your face, or you have to log into the every day to know about the latest notifications from the portal, which is coming in the portal only. Nobody will give you the ring that kindly look into the portal. So you have to look into the portal. So this is one of the things which comes as the metric level extended profile deviations are there. Now this is one thing about the 4 columns will be there. For example, the question will be there here, and then the HEI input and the DVV support, suggested input, then finalized input and also recommended input, and the validation will be there. So NAAC is looking this type of the transparent procedure in the computer, so that you can see in the computer itself what are the questions have been asked by the NAAC in the computer itself. So it should not be password protected. Your URL should be end in a particular generic website only, and it should not lead to somewhere else. So Google Drive should not be there, and glossary and undertaking of the matrix can be taken up, and within 7 days this DVV clarification will be completed. So standard operating procedure, kindly go through the NAAC website and look into the standard operating procedure. There is a pre-qualification. What is a pre-qualification? As I already told you, that the 25% of the matrices of the quantitative nature, which has to be passed with the 25%. So those who have passed with the pre-qualification will be considered as the on-site visit. Those who are less than the 25%, we are not pre-qualified, they will be considered for the next again submission by the IIQA and SSR again, and your fees will be forfeited during the not pre-qualified stage. So qualified will get the peer team visit, on-site visit. Student satisfaction survey will also be on after the self-study report submission. So our request to the institution is that there are 21 questions are there. You can translate into your own mother tongue and circulate among the student, and make sure that you create your own small software for this type of the analysis purpose also. For example, stratified sampling, you can get the 50% of the thing you have to submit to the NAAC. For example, 2,800 students are there. So our request is that 80% to 90% you give the data of the student. Initially, it will send to the 30% of the student data. Then if the result is not less than the 10%, then it will take up the next 70%. For that one, the coordinating officer of the institution has to send a small reply to the NAAC. Now, the subject knowledge and the communication skills and preparation of the class, use of ICT tools, these are some of the things have been asked by the in the questionnaire. Now, in the logistic and the preparation of the visit, there are 2 days visit will be there. 3 members team will be there. 1 vice chancellor, 1 professor, and 1 principal will be there. My request to the institution as a coordinator role, you have to look into the 7 things. One is a time management. Second is the institutional on-site visit, institutional the visit department to department, and also the infrastructure things, and then material management, documentary evidence, photos, patent, attendance, teacher's diary, the criterion wise input from the department, and travel and management. The thing is another thing which you have to look into it. And NAAC is booking the ticket and the hotel to the all the peer team member, but the hotel to the college, the institution has to do it, and also the airport leaving and picking up also the institution's job. Report preparation and the management is another thing where you will be supporting to the chairman by providing the computer material and internet connectivity and reading the report with the principal after the chairman has shared with you the report. Finally, it is an exit meeting. Will be only chairman will be speaking on the exit meeting. The logistic fee should be preferred. Logistic fee should be paid by the institution. During that logistic fees, you can submit the 3 preference date. During this COVID-19 situation, the NAAC will taken up the assessment during the November or December. The visits may take up, because depending upon the situation which arises in a particular region, the NAAC will take a appropriate stand regarding that one. So nearest airport and the hotel you have to submit in the portal itself only. NAAC will not disclose the details of the peer team visit. Only 3 days in advance only you will get that the who are all coming. NAAC visit will take care, and the NAAC will take care the logistic and the visiting team, and you need not to pay any money to the peer team members. Do not pay anything to the visiting team. So alumni interactions will be there, and finalization of the report will be there. Finally, I will tell you, there is a quantitative metrics, there is a qualitative metrics, then also the student satisfaction survey. All 3 together will come to the accreditation outcome. So outcome will be based on this 7-point scale, which comes as a C to A++. But actually it is an 8-point scale. The D1 is the non-accredited status also will be there. So how exactly institution get the result? Once the result is declared by the standing committee of the NAAC, and in the every portal of the institution, you will get this access, so that you will be able to see how exactly the institution has performed in the quantitative and the qualitative metrics. So each metrics wise, all the 93 and 96 metrics, you will be able to get the result. For example, just to give you low performance indicator and high performance indicator. High performance will be from 3.01 and above, and the low performance indicator will be 0 to 2, will be called as the low performance indicators. Now high performance may come up like this, 3.01 to 4. This is how the graph is coming up, and average percentage of the performance of this key indicator, which comes at 2.01 to 3, and the low performance comes with the 0 to 2. Then it will comes as like this graph, and you will be able to see that one. Every criteria wise also you will be getting the score that will be communicated to the institution. This is the final thing, graphical representation. All the 93 or 96 metrics, which metrics, how many score they have got, you will be able to get it. Basically, just to share with you, there is no fraction between 3.01 to 4. Either it will be 3 or either it will be 4. So full integer will be there for the validation purpose. So lastly, I would like to share with you the हरिवंश राय बच्चन has told, लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों को हार नहीं होती। असफलता एक चुनौती है, इसे स्वीकार करो, क्या कमी रह गई है देखो और सुधार करो। जब तक न सफल हो नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम, कुछ किए बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों को हार नहीं होती। आप सभी लोग कोशिश करिए, और आपके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आवर रिस्पेक्टेड स्पीकर डॉक्टर Roy, Niron John Roy will be speaking to you regarding the various IQAC and other details. And I thank the Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya, Dr. Tarun Bandyopadhyay ji, and also his full team, and also the Dr. Samuel Azim for giving me an opportunity to share a few things with you on this day. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you a lot for delivering this speech, exhaustive speech. We have learned a lot, sir, and thanks a lot for also accepting our invitation. Actually, ours is a very small college, and in spite of being a small college, you have accepted our invitation. I am grateful. My principal and my entire college family is grateful to you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Sir, shall I put the question
Yes.
to you now or
Yes.
after?
Yes.
After? Okay, sir. Okay. First question has been asked by Dr. Dev Kumar Mukherjee, sir. He says, please clarify the difference between program outcome and program specific outcome with an example.
For example, MA chemistry, MSc chemistry,
Yes.
MSc chemistry, there are 3 specialization will be there. MSc organic chemistry, MSc analytical chemistry, or MSc industrial chemistry. First year it will be same for the MSc student. Second year it will be different for the specific program. For example, now the core program is the chemistry. Okay. Now the specific will be either it is analytical chemistry or organic chemistry or industrial chemistry. So specific thing has to be program specific, related to that particular inorganic or the organic, like that. So 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, the program outcome should be differ from the program to program. So my request to the institution and the faculty member is that kindly look into the various fact and figures of the choice based credit system. आप गूगल कर दिए तो आपको मिल जाएगा. The basically just to share with you that if your program is the MSc chemistry, then you will say that analytical chemistry will be there. So those specific items has to come as the program specific outcome.
Okay, sir. Next question, sir, regarding triple S, sir. Triple S, actually, student satisfaction survey. Actually, those colleges who are situated in a backward area, sir, the students, majority of the students in those colleges comes from first generation learners, sir.
Okay. No
For
problem.
them to reply to the email that is to be sent by NAAC is very difficult.
Sir.
Would you please tell something, sir, how the colleges like ours will handle?
Students are coming to college, no sir, ना?
Yes, sir.
कॉलेज
Yes, sir.
में कंप्यूटर सेंटर तो होता है ना?
Yes, sir.
I will just give you Samuel sir. Suppose now 2021 academic session is on now, है ना?
Yes,
Students
yes.
are applying also. Sometimes
Yes.
it may go up to the November also, depending upon the region. Admission will go on. Now, if suppose if you say that when during the admission itself, your email is compulsory, ना? So वो बोलेंगे नहीं सर मेरा पास कंप्यूटर नहीं है, मेरे पास कुछ भी नहीं है, मेरा पास ईमेल कहाँ रहेगा? तो आपका बड़े बाबू जो है कंप्यूटर सेंटर में लेके जाएंगे, तो खोलो, गूगल खोल दीजिए, नया ईमेल बना दीजिए और आप ईमेल खोल दीजिए तो ईमेल खुल जाएगा. So unless you make that type of the things, students will not have the email ID. That is one thing. Suppose student satisfaction survey के लिए हमारा एक निवेदन है, a student is coming as a BA, BSc, BCom, है ना? तो उनको कंप्यूटर चलाना भी नहीं आते तो नया जमाने में कैसे चलेगा, है ना? तो नया जमाने में कंप्यूटर आना ही चाहिए, है ना? BA, BSc, BCom जो भी हो सकता है, वो भले बंगाली में लिटरेचर में हो सकता है ना? लिटरेचर में होते तो टाइपिंग तो करना पड़ेगा, फॉन्ट क्या है, स्टाइल क्या है, वर्ड तो खुल के थोड़ा तो टाइप तो करो, है ना? तो इसी के लिए कंप्यूटर तो यूज होता है. So my request to the institution is that when the student come to your college, they have to what to call reply. When the student satisfaction survey will be on, you can request the NAAC that when your session is on only, they can make the student satisfaction survey on. They can hold for a while. Suppose दीपावली की छुट्टी है, एग्जामिनेशन का सेंटर है और इलेक्शन आ रहा है, उस समय you can ask the request the NAAC. NAAC will extend the time and the date also. That is possible is there. So controlled group is there. Our request is that institution has to strive that the every student should have, like Aadhaar card, every student should have one email ID also. That is the thing. The another thing which I would like to share with you, sir. हमारा जमाना चले गया, है ना? हमारा जमाने में क्या था, कंप्यूटर नहीं था. कंप्यूटर जब भी सर्विस में आया है कंप्यूटर देखा है ना? अभी नया सिस्टम, नया बच्चे ऐसा नहीं है, तो दे आर द नेटिव ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजिकल ओरिएंटेड पीपल आर देयर. So student have to make the use of the computer. That is our request, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, another question asked by Ratan Rai. Role of students in IQAC NAAC assessment.
Okay.
What can we do to inform the student at such a moment, sir?
नाम क्या बताया आपने?
रतन रॉय. रतन
रॉय, बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न आपने पूछा है ना? I will tell you, give a slogan. Nothing for us without us, है ना? Nothing for us without us. जो स्टूडेंट ने बताया, that means without the student there is no job. Suppose Samuel Azim, आप क्या सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाते हैं?
इंग्लिश सर.
इंग्लिश पढ़ाते हैं, है ना? जब स्टूडेंट ही नहीं होते तो कॉलेज में क्या काम है ना? काम ही नहीं है. आज जो हम वेबिनार में रहे वो स्टूडेंट के लिए है ना? अल्टीमेटली when we are focusing upon the student outcome, what actually the student outcome? See, now for example, just to share with you that a student, if he is a good at the statistics, computer science or a literature, for example, I will give you the some students are good at the literature, some good students are good at the computer literacy and statistical. See, in the IQAC, there should be one of the member, a boy and a girl should be there. Suppose, for example, if you say some improvement has to come in the college. So, for example, Samuel ji, dekh lijiye. Suppose
Yes,
in the hostel the taps are not working, है ना? Then who will tell? The student will tell. So only thing is that response should be there from the principal. That is one thing. Second thing is that suppose if the good students are there who can do the repair, the student itself, they will make the repair. Only thing is that you have to motivate and promote them. हाँ बच्चे आप अच्छा कर रहे हैं, करो कुछ. I will give you an example of the Goa college. The Goa college principal was telling, उस कॉलेज में हड़ताल नहीं होता है, उस कॉलेज में ग्लास टूटा हुआ नहीं देख सकता है, उस कॉलेज में आपको कोई टेबल चेयर वगैरह जो है टूटा फूटा नहीं दिख सकता है, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट ओनली मेड दैट कॉलेज एज ए गुड वन, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट हैव टेकन इनिशिएटिव दैट दे हमारा कॉलेज है. जब तक स्टूडेंट हमारा कॉलेज जैसा करके नहीं बताते हैं, कुछ काम नहीं होता है. हमारा निवेदन है आपसे, what we request to the institution is that the student has to be involved. One is for the IQAC, or maybe the library, or maybe the infrastructure, or maybe the even for the, suppose for example bookkeeping, है ना? बड़े बाबू का पास पूरा पूरा किताब होता है, उसका बाइंडिंग करना पड़ता है. बाइंडिंग करने के लिए छोटे बच्चे को आप ये दे दीजिए, what you call earn while you learn. Maharashtra colleges have done that one. Earn while you learn. Suppose मान लीजिए 1 घंटे के लिए 30 रुपए देंगे, है ना? 3 घंटा काम करेंगे, 90 रुपए मिलेगा, है ना? बट यू हैव टू मेक दी बुक कीपिंग, बाइंडिंग करना है, बुक का बाइंडिंग करना है, पुराना जो है ना, उसी के लिए कुछ काम कर सकते हैं. My request to the institution is that students are very sensitive also. You have to look into the various facts and figures also. Suppose मान लीजिए sexual harassment में हो सकता है, women empowerment के लिए हो सकता है ना? So what to call the maintenance के लिए हो सकता है. You create your own group of the people, है ना? मेरा निवेदन है, जैसा रामायण में एक कथा आता है ना, सुग्रीव ने एक बार बताया है वानर सेना को आने के लिए, सुग्रीव का आज्ञा था, इसी के लिए सुग्रीव आज्ञा बोलते हैं, है ना? तो वैसा ही एक प्रिंसिपल होता है, उसका आज्ञा होता है. जब भी प्रिंसिपल का आज्ञा होता है, सभी पालन होता है. So student will be able to make a lot of difference, and it can be done. Where there is a will, there is a way. कर सकते हैं.
Thank you, sir. Another question.
Hello, Ajim.
Yes.
I have a single question to Professor Hegde.
Okay, sir. Ask.
Okay. So actually, I was disconnected last 7 or 8 minutes when Professor Ajim raised the question regarding the student sample survey. So actually, frankly speaking, colleges like us, which are in the remote places, he has rightly observed that they are not computer literacy. Their computer literacy is very minimum. Okay. So can it be thought that the student sample survey, your questionnaire will be sent only to the honor students who are actually to some extent senior and they are well equipped? Is it possible to think, sir?
And नहीं, सुभाष महाविद्यालय ये तरुण बंदोपाध्याय जी है ना, जो I don't get offended when I'm speaking to the word, है ना, जो honor student is not only the student, the general student also your student, है ना?
Yes.
They are the student of the college. मेरा ये निवेदन है आपसे, as you are taking care of the honor student also, the general student is also your student, है ना? वो भले वो सुबह का समय में आते हैं, शाम नहीं आएंगे, वो अलग बात है. That is the way of the region specific thing. My request to the thing is that all student, है ना, जैसा हमारा 5 उंगली होता है ना, ये बड़े उंगली छोटा उंगली ऐसा नहीं है, हाथ है. Student is a student of your college, whether he is a honor student or whether he is a general student. हाँ, जो 3 साल आपका साथ है जो स्टूडेंट, उनके लिए हमने क्या किया है ना, that is more important. What is their involvement? हाउ वी हैव बीन टेकन केयर, है ना। तो
Yes.
3 साल का बाद भी वो कंप्यूटर चला नहीं सकता होते तो हमारा इंप्रूवमेंट क्या हो गया, है ना। सो वी हैव टू टेक इंट्रोस्पेक्शन आवरसेल्व्स, स्टेटिंग दैट वेदर वी हैव डन द राइट जॉब और नॉट। हाँ, हो सकता है कमी हो सकता है, मगर फेल नहीं हो सकता है। मेरा ये निवेदन है, पास परसेंटेज ज्यादा नहीं होगा, परसेंटेज कम होगा, मगर कोशिश करिए। कंप्यूटर लिटरेसी के लिए मेरा निवेदन है ना, 3 महीने का या तो 4 महीने का एक कोर्स चला दीजिए। ऑल स्टूडेंट शुड पास। मैं आप बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडी का मेंबर होते तो, है ना, ये जो
Yes.
कूच बिहार पंचानन बर्मा यूनिवर्सिटी में एक बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडी में एक रूल बना दीजिए, 3 महीने का जो कंप्यूटर लिटरेसी का कोर्स पास होने का बाद ही डिग्री मिलेगा, नहीं होते तो डिग्री नहीं मिलेगा, ऐसा करके ना। सी, इट इज नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ यू एंड मी, द स्टूडेंट्स विल बी गेटिंग द एजुकेटेड एंड आल्सो द गेटिंग द जॉब फॉर द पर्टिकुलर BA BSc बीकॉम, वो भी जो भी पढ़ सकता है। कंप्यूटर लिटरेसी इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट, and we are only asking the 2% of the total thing. What is that one? Is 10% of the total population. So 1000 student होते तो आपका पास at least minimum 100 students should reply. That means 500 student in a college should reply to the thing. हाँ, हो सकता है 1-2 बार जो है थोड़ा कोशिश करना पड़ेगा। मेरा निवेदन है, आप एक छोटा सॉफ्टवेयर बना दीजिए कंप्यूटर में, उसका बाद यही 21 क्वेश्चन यू सर्कुलेट अमंग द स्टूडेंट, है ना। तो देन they will see their what you call email ID. Suppose if they may not see the email in the home, no problem. When they come to the college, you make half an hour for them, है ना। तो half an hour में सभी बच्चे को लाइब्रेरी में बिठा दीजिए। जो बच्चे ईमेल आईडी नहीं है, जो कंप्यूटर नहीं चलाते हैं, पीयर टीचिंग कर दीजिए। पीयर टीचिंग क्या है, जो अच्छा बच्चे को आता है उसको बगल में इनको बिठा दीजिए, so that the student will learn like that way. So कोशिश करिए ना सर, हो जाएगा। कुछ भी बात दूर नहीं है। आप सोच रहे हैं हम नेपाल का बॉर्डर में है, सिक्किम का बॉर्डर में है, ऐसा करके मत सोचिए, है ना। कभी भी अजीम जी बोल रहे थे बीच में, है ना, इनिशियली हमारा छोटा कॉलेज है, हम दूर है, ऐसा करके मत सोचिए, है ना। आप बड़े हैं, आप कर सकते हैं। और वेस्ट बंगाल इज ए गुड स्टेट एंड इट हैज गॉट ए बोथ नॉर्थ एंड साउथ, है ना। आप नॉर्थ में हैं, मतलब आप नॉर्थ बंगाल में हैं, और साउथ बंगाल में परगनास आता है ना। तो हमारा निवेदन है, छोटा मत समझिए, आगे काम करते रहिए।
Thank you, sir. I accept your suggestion.
Thank you, sir. Another question, sir. I would not ask a lot of questions, sir. Another question, sir, regarding triple S. Could we conduct any sensitization program for the awareness program for the students? But one thing, sir, what would be the Lakshman Rekha between awareness program and tutoring the students? It's just like when the email comes from NAAC, we will tell that give the highest mark to the in each and every questions.
Sir, Ajim ji, many times the students have given the good mark to the college. See, sometimes it is a 50 mark or a 60 mark, depending upon the UG and PG. You will get the 50-60, na. 60 into 4, you will get the 240 mark, na. Many students have given the full mark to the college, that they have not failed the college, na. तो मेरा निवेदन है, you can make this question circulated among the your students, and they will be aware of हाँ ये ऐसा प्रश्न पूछ रहे हैं. After that also the student knows whether it is happening or not. And second thing I would like to tell you, introspection, है ना. हाँ, faculty member जो सोचना है जो हम कर रहे हैं सही है क्या. Student also will think that जो हम बोल रहे हैं सही है नहीं है. So people have their own ways to look into it. My request to you is that for the student satisfaction survey, and it is a good weightage. You see, 50 mark is not a small weightage. It's not a 5-mark question or a 10-mark question. It is a 50-mark question where you will get the 200 or the 240 mark. You will be there depending upon the UG PG. So my request to that one, you kindly circulate. So हर साल जो है ना, suppose मान लीजिए 2022 में आप जा रहे हैं accreditation के लिए, इस साल से ही आपका वो क्वेश्चन आप लागू कर दीजिए. And it's not a big question. Only 21 questions are there. You can make a 0 to 4 scale the thing which you can do it.
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Another question from Dr. Shubhendu Modak, sir.
Sir.
Respected sir, kindly highlights few points on B.Ed stand-alone colleges.
B.A.?
B.Ed colleges, B.Ed, teachers training colleges. He is the principal of teachers training college. His question is, respected sir, kindly highlights few points on B.Ed stand-alone colleges.
Sir, B.Ed ke liye NAAC had earlier the MOU with the NCT earlier. From the 2015 onwards, that MOU has been expired. That expired MOU has not been continued. And those persons who are teaching in the B.Ed or a teacher education college, they know how NCTE the things are there and everything, which I need not to comment on that one. The UGC has made a statement stating that NAAC also should assess the B.Ed colleges. Accordingly, in 2017 onwards, the NAAC has prepared the teacher education manual. Now the manual is available in the NAAC website. जो उनका नाम क्या बताया था आपने?
शुभेंदु भूषण मोदक, डॉक्टर शुभेंदु भूषण मोदक.
शुभेंदु जी के लिए मैं इतना निवेदन करता हूं ताकि आप डाउनलोड कर दीजिए NAAC का मैनुअल फॉर फिजिकल एजुकेशन एंड टीचर एजुकेशन. इट्स द सेम मैनुअल इज देयर ना. So those manuals, and go on working on the preparing the same manual. As I told you, this procedure will be same. Quantitative, qualitative, student satisfaction survey, and on-site visit, all will be the more or less same. Only the questions will be differ. If you would like to come forward for the accreditation, NAAC will take up the assessment of the teacher education colleges also.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we want to listen your lecture a lot, but since the time is running out, sir, so we will not take further question. And I thank you a lot, sir. Your generosity has mesmerized me, respected sir. I wrote a letter and you accepted that letter, sir. I am really grateful to you. Once again, I am thankful to you that personality like you, an academician like you had given consent to join the webinar of our college. Thank you a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
I wish you all the best to the Dr. Taran Bandyopadhyay ji and Dr. Ajim ji, and best wishes. And I just would like to tell only half a minute just to share with you. Somebody told me that we are not too far away, and don't say that when we are in the Cooch Behar, हम वेस्ट बंगाल का कोने में है, हम क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या ऐसा नहीं है. जो भी कॉलेज है वो लोग आते हैं, and the students are picking up your college because your college is doing some good work. That is thing. And हम क्या कर सकते हैं उसका बारे में सोचना है. That is the thing. And we are not too far away. We are just email away. You send an email, we will reply to you. And our director, Professor S.C. Sharma ji, has made this IMS. This is called the issue management system. And if you ask a question, NAAC will reply. Only thing is that you have to register in the NAAC portal. HEI has to register in the portal. That's what I told in the beginning. My request to all the higher education institutions which are viewing this webinar, if at all you are having any question, and you can ask in the NAAC issue management. That is the thing which you can ask, and NAAC will reply to that one. And if you could not register in the things, director.naac@gmail.com is the director email ID. We will respond to the particular institution from the director email. That is also another mode which we can think. मैं अंत में इतना कहना चाहता हूं, क्वालिटी के लिए आप एक कदम आगे बढ़े, आपका साथ एक कदम आगे बढ़ने के लिए NAAC तत्पर रहेगा. एंड डोंट से दैट वन वी आर अलोन. आपका साथ हम है, आप काम करिए, आपका साथ भी हम काम करेंगे. एंड वी विल मेक अवर इंडिया एज अ गुड डेस्टिनेशन फॉर द हायर एजुकेशन. आप सबको मेरा प्रणाम है, एंड इंक्लूडिंग द डॉक्टर देव कुमार मुखर्जी जो वाइस चांसलर मॉर्निंग हमारा सेशन में थे, और उनके लिए भी मैं प्रणाम करता हूं, धन्यवाद देता हूं. और मेरा जो मित्र Dr. Niron Roy will be speaking to you all in the next session. I take an opportunity to thank him also, and I request you stating that मेरे को ऑफिस में कुछ काम के लिए जाना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि कल हमारा HRD minister will be addressing all the faculty members and the students of our country. एंड वो एक काम हमारा शोल्डर में है, वो करने के लिए मेरे को ऑफिस जाना पड़ेगा. एंड आई रिक्वेस्ट, इस माध्यम से मैं सबको निवेदन करता हूँ, NAAC पोर्टल में जो व्यूअर्स है उनके लिए मैं अभी निवेदन करता हूँ, आवेदन करता हूँ और विनंती करता हूँ, वे NAAC का पोर्टल में रजिस्टर करिए, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू गेट अ लिंक to listen to the Honorable Minister Dr. Nishank ji. He will be addressing tomorrow at 6 p.m. 11/9/2020 at 6 p.m. He will be addressing to all the faculty members, and I request all your people to join us from your college and your region to join to listen to the Honorable Minister of the ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट. एंड आपके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू सर.
निरंजन साहब नमस्कार. नमस्कार.
नमस्कार गणेश जी.
प्रणाम.
नमस्कार प्रणाम गणेश.
धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू गणेश हेगड़े सर. एंड आई होप दैट इंडिया मस्ट become the hub of education in the world. Thank you, sir. Next, our speaker is Dr. Niron John Roy, sir. And Niron John Roy, sir, will deliver his speech and enlighten ourselves. And it is now over to Niron John, sir. Without wasting any time, it is over to Niron John, sir. Sujan.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yes, visible, sir.
Now it is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir. Yes, sir.
I think I am not visible.
Yes, you are audible and your PPT is visible, sir. Continue, sir.
And I am not visible, I think.
No, you are also visible to me, sir.
I am visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are visible.
Okay, great. So, respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Dev Kumar Mukhopadhyay, Vice Chancellor Panchanan Brahma University, Dr. Tarun Bandopadhyay, Principal of the college, then Dr. Samiul Azim, my colleagues from different colleges and their students. It is really a wonderful moment for me to speak on this internal quality mechanism in higher education institution and revised accreditation framework. And Dr. Hegre has already analyzed in details about the tidbits of revised accreditation framework. So what I will do, I will try to focus on the role of internal quality assurance and the role of internal quality mechanism for a higher education institution in the ambit of revised accreditation framework. So that I will cover in this presentation. Now, there are three takeaways for me from this last presentation and from the discussion of Professor Bandyopadhyay's questions, what he raised to Dr. Hegre. So there are three issues which has come up during the last session. One is small college, another is rural college, and another important issue is the difference between pass course and the honors course students. Now, if you look at, I'll start with this particular statement that in every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Similarly, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and it knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle or it will be starved. So the ultimate observation is that it does not matter whether you are a big college, whether you are a small college, whether you are a rural college or a urban college, all of us should be running. So that we are in a difficult situation, we are in a difficult paradigm of situation now, and every one of us, we have to run and run and run, and we have to build capacity among our students. So that is the main crux of the entire crux of the higher education institutions framework and the objective of higher education institutions. Now, what is quality education? So there is a lot of issues relating to quality in education and quality in higher education mainly. Now, quality is basically how we define quality. Quality is basically standard. Now, how you define standard, how you measure standard. For measuring standard, you need another something to compare. Now, here lies the importance of the benchmarking. So benchmarking is a very important core principles of measuring quality. And similarly, the quality in education, when you are thinking that your college, Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya, is a small college, but how you say it is a small college? You are comparing with Cooch College, right? Now, Cooch College may say that we are not so big like that of a college of Presidency University, or some other college of a urban area. So that is why the benchmarking is a very important notion of this entire quality paradigm or measurement of quality. And there are different perspectives of quality. And some of the very important issues relating to quality are leadership, commitment of top management, good environment, then teamwork. Teamwork is a very important. Then participatory management and the quality circles. So all these actually are the important perspectives of quality paradigm of important areas of quality in higher educations. Now, there are basically five principles, five dimensions, which are very important for our institutions. One is the performance. Then your features of your college is completely different. That is called the uniqueness of your college. So your college, they may have some important characteristics, important features which are not found in Cooch College. So here lies your main important strong points of your college. Then reliability, conformance, and perceived quality. So all these, you see, these are the five important factors, 5 important dimensions, which are very relevant for any institutions so far as the assurance of quality is concerned, and so far as the quality ultimately leads to the total quality management. Now, total quality management, it actually starts from the inspection. Now, we are talking of NAAC, what Dr. Hegre talked about, the NAAC process. NAAC process of this quality assessment. Ultimately, NAAC comes up with a assessing the quality. Now, this starts with the inspection. Though the peer team, they are not inspectors. Please remember, they are the peers. They are the teachers. They are the vice chancellors, professors, and the principal of the colleges who are generally sent to the college for assessment. So inspection is a very important part of the, it starts with, then the quality control, then detection. Now you after your assessment, you will get grade sheet, you will get the detailed result of your analysis. So that will detect what are the gaps in your quality dimensions of Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya, and you can compare. Of course, this particular grade sheet is completely unique to you. It is not, of course, comparable to with other institutions. But what you can do, you can at least benchmark. With this benchmark of a particular institution, you can detect the important gaps, the learning gaps, the important infrastructural gaps, the important research gaps, and which are very important, very relevant for further improvement. Then comes the quality assurance. From detection, you have to come to the quality assurance, then prevention, and you have to prevent if you find some gray areas, if you find some important areas which needs to be taken into account. So that means you have to prevent. Then comes the continuous improvement. So continuous improvement is the most important paradigm, most important issues of the total quality management. And what NAAC started, Dr. Hegre analyzed the different criterion of NAAC assessment which is prevailing now. Now, if you look at the initially when NAAC started in 1994, it started its journey in 1994 with a registered body in Bengaluru. Now NAAC has assumed a very important position in the entire quality circle, in the entire quality paradigm of higher education institutions. Now, initially, NAAC started with 10 parameters, goals and objectives of the institution, then curriculum design and review, then teaching, learning and evaluation of the institution, research and publications, consultancy and extension activities, organization and management, infrastructure facilities, then support services, what are the support services you have, then students feedback, then general and the management of financial resources. So these are the 10 important parameters on the basis of which NAAC started its journey for assessing and accrediting the higher education institutions in India in 1994. Now, after that, in 2011, NAAC has introduced 7 criteria. Now, first is the curricular aspect that already discussed this point. Then teaching, learning and evaluation of the institution. What are the teaching, learning mechanism of your institution? Then research, consultancy, extension. Then infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, then organization and management, and then healthy practices. So these are the 7 criteria, introduction of 7 criteria up to 2011, which was, very relevant for the assessment of NAAC. Then these criteria, 7 criteria, was modified in 2012. Now, in 2012, what are the changes made? Mainly in the 6 and 7, criteria 6 and criteria 7, as I think Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Mukhopadhyay has rightly pointed out about the development of different parameters of NAAC in course of time. And NAAC process is very dynamic, and during the last so many decades, NAAC has evolved different parameters, different criteria based on the need of the institution, based on the scaling of the institution, and in tune with the global practices elsewhere. And NAAC has continuously revised its assessment criteria, and also the parameters undergo changes during last so many years. And 2012, the 7 criteria, the earlier 7 criteria, up to criteria 5th remains the same, and 6 and 7 criteria has been changed. What was the 6 criteria earlier? It was organization and management. So in 2012, we have come across with governance, leadership, and management. So it is a broad-based definition of organization of management, how the management is contributing to the development of the institution. So that is a very important aspect of the NAAC assessment criteria. And the earlier criteria up to 2011, it was healthy practices, but in 2012, we have come across with innovations and best practices. So with these 7 criteria in 2012, then comes the revised accreditation framework, as Dr. Hegre has highlighted these issues. So what are the changes which I wanted to highlight? That this innovation has been incorporated. This is a very important issue in the context of the institution. Now, here lies the difference between, here lies the context of your institution, whether it is a small institution, whether it is a large institution, whether it is urban, rural institution. Every institution can innovate. Your institution can innovate something uniqueness based on, suppose, if you adopt a village in a nearby area, and in that particular village, if you do undertake the resource mapping activities, take the village as an ideal village, take the village as an example, and start resource mapping activities in that particular village. So it will be unique contribution from your college, and that was a very important part of the innovation from that part of the college itself. Then institutional values and best practices, this has also been introduced as part of the revised accreditation framework. Now, as you know, this revised accreditation framework, what are the advantages of this revised accreditation framework? So earlier, in the previous methodology, we used to get, a bit size of peer team report, SSR self-study report, and the report contains at least 250, 260 pages with even 2-3 volumes, and number of questions were very large. Now there is a drastic reduction in number of questions. This is the first important changes in the revised accreditation framework. Then the size of the report has been drastically reduced. Then the visit days has also been reduced. And another important thing, that the pre-qualifier, that 30% of your system generated score, you are to qualify for eligible to be peer team visit. So whether NAAC will send you peer team or not, it depends on the pre-qualification. And these are the 3 important, and that already Dr. Hegre has analyzed. But I am pointing out that these are the three important part of the whole exercise. This is the 70% of your these values will come from system generated score. So this is a part of your quantitative metrics. The answer, whatever you give through the online mode, so it is a quantitative part of the quantitative metrics, and this pertains to system generated score. Then peer team visit, it is only 30%. So 30% weightage will be given to the peer team visit, and in between we have the student satisfaction survey. So student satisfaction survey is also another very important. So here lies the relevance of your past students or honor students. Every students are your students, and even the last roll number, even the last students who is sitting in the last bench should be empowered. That is the main objective of the institution. That is the whole crux of the quality dimension of higher education institutions. Say, we will be successful or not depends on whether we have enabled to build capacity of the even the last student who is sitting in the last row, who is in the last column. So that is a critical challenge for all of us, and here lies the important role of the internal quality assurance mechanism. And there are two types of data requirement, as already highlighted. I'm just giving you some of the bullets here. So one is quantitative data you need to generate, and another is qualitative data, which basically is a some description analysis. So some descriptive analysis is required as part of your qualitative data, and quantitative data is nothing but some yes or no, one or two questions. I mean, in some numbers you are to show. And most important part now comes that these qualitative metrics and quantitative metrics, it is total is 137 metrics, and sorry, and these 34 metrics is basically based on input based metrics. This is the most important part of the internal quality mechanism: input, process, output. Now 34 matrices depends on the input based metrics, 60 matrices process based metrics, 43 metrics output based metrics. You just see the next these particular issues of distribution of input, process, output. And if you look at, only 34 metrics comes from input, 60 metrics comes to process, 43 metrics comes from output. Now what are the inputs? Input, students are our input. Curricular is a part of our input. Faculty, staff, non-teaching staff, our laboratory staff, all are the inputs. Facilities, infrastructure, teaching resources, whatever you have, these are basically the inputs of the higher education institution. And these particular all inputs, this consisted of 34 metrics in the institution. Now comes process. What is the process? Process is teaching and learning process. How you are delivering teaching. What is the mechanism of teaching? What is the mechanism of evaluation of performance of the students, right? Then staff development. What is the mechanism of capacity building of your teaching staff, capacity building of your non-teaching staff, student support and evaluation, research, administration, ICT revamping. What is the mechanism of awareness of your ICT among your teachers, then the non-teaching staff, then the students. So all these basically consisted of process. So once we get the input, we process it, right? As a teacher, as a non-teaching staff, as a management, we are responsible for processing this particular input. And after this process, and remember, this process contains highest number of questions in the SSR, formation of the SSR, and this basically 60 matrices of this particular process. Then comes output. So here lies what is the output: skilled and employable graduates. What we are producing, what we are producing, the graduates, whether they are skilled, whether they are employable, whether past course students are getting employment in the job market. That is a challenge. That is a critical challenge for us. Not only the honor students, they will get job. The past students, past course students, they have also the right to, get employment in the open market. So the skilled and employable graduates, research, publications, and output. This is another very important output. Then the contribution to the community, and what, as I given the example, the adoption of a particular village. This is one of the very important contribution from the side of the college towards the community. So what contribution you are, you have contributed already during the last 5 years as part of your community service from the college. So these actually, all these three important aspects: input, process, and output. This leads to stakeholders satisfaction. So stakeholders, whether, and here lies the importance of your feedback. And now going to the feedback, you not only should collect feedback from the students. Now in the NAAC manual, in the SSR format, you will find some alternatives. Number one, feedback collected from the students only. Feedback collected from the students, parents, and the alumni. Feedback collected from the number three, feedback collected from the students, alumni, parents, employers. Now, if you go on increasing the collection of the feedback, you will get more marks. If you collect feedback from only students, your weightage will be less. If you collect your feedback only from the students and alumni, your weightage will be little higher compared to number one. So the alternative questions are there. If you tick, you will have to tick one, and on the basis of this, the system will calculate. And if you collect feedback from students, alumni, parents, employer, all, then you will get full marks. So here lies the whole issues of the stakeholder satisfaction for, on the basis of this input, process, and the output. Now, the whole issue of this entire paradigm, entire assessment culture, entire NAAC system is basically outcome-based approach. And here lies three important outcomes: program outcomes, program-specific outcomes, course outcomes. And the program outcomes, it is a broad overview of a particular program. Suppose the engineering student, what after graduation or getting the BTech degree, what is expected to do, what is the capacity building, what is the skill orientation of that particular student. Okay, so this is basically program outcomes. Then program specific outcome: the chemical engineer, the civil engineer, the mechanical engineer, they have their different trades are there. So within these different trades, how these basically they are acquainted to do what they are expected to do, you have to analyze, and you have to mention with 2 to 4 at least 2 to 4 bullets what is the program outcomes. So in your college, if you have honors course in BA, past course in BA, so basically BA course is the whole program of the BA is basically program outcomes. Now coming to the narrow down, the honors course students, past course students, what they are expected to do of a particular arts faculty. So these things is basically needs to be highlighted. Now course outcomes is further, if you go narrow to a particular course, if we have in economics, a particular business economics, if in your English, if you have American literature, if you have British literature, what are the specific course outcomes of that particular? In your political science, if you have European politics, if you have particular political activities of the American, so say for example, any specific course designed for that particular statement, what is the outcome, what the students is expected to do, and the university while framing the syllabus, they need to, because the college generally do not frame syllabus, so the board of studies are there, and board of studies is actually the responsible for specifying program outcomes, program specific outcomes, and course outcomes. And this is a very important issue, what the college actually want, expected to do in this particular context. The college is expected to evaluate the learning outcomes of related to the statement which is already there as part of the PO, PSO, and the CO. Program outcomes, program specific outcomes, and the course outcomes. And the college should do analysis at the end of the day, that whether your student is really employable. On the basis of it, you can analyze the performance of the students in the so far as the three parameters are concerned. Now, coming to the internal quality paradigm. Now, IQAC is the brain of the college, and if IQAC moves in a right direction, college will move definitely in a right direction. And if IQAC fails, college is going to definitely fail. From my own experience and from the literature survey, we have come to the conclusion that IQAC must be a vibrant organ of the institution. And in a very good institution, you will definitely find that IQAC is really very good. IQAC is really very vibrant. And what are the important IQAC means what? IQAC does not mean only coordinator, only principal. So IQAC is a whole combination of different stakeholders. I will come to that particular stakeholders contribution into the IQAC in the next couple of after this particular slide. Now, this internal quality assurance, it is a stakeholder participation. Stakeholders, what are the who are the stakeholders? Students, alumni, then your employer, then your parents. So parents of the students, all are stakeholders. Then the involvement of academia, the teaching faculty, that peer teachers, those who are from other institutions, they can also be involved. Community engagement, as I just said, that your neighborhood, your neighboring villages, your neighboring community. So all these they should be engaged, and the college has a role to play here, so that the community can engage. Then the quality leadership, and leadership is a very important. All the quality models actually this whole quality culture is a very new. It started mainly since 1980s. This quality culture, and before that, quality culture in higher education mainly. So in higher education, the Joseph Barton model. If you look at the Joseph Joran and Barton model, two models are there. So if you look at the quality, all these quality models, they basically highlighted the important role of leadership. And a leader, who is the leader? If you look at the IQAC context, the principal of the college is the chairman of the IQAC, and one coordinator is there, and other stakeholders are there. So the IQAC should play a very important role in shaping the quality movement of any institutions. And if you look at the different dimensions, there are three important issues in the quality. Whatever the quality assurance and assessment. The quality is basically, it is a fitness for purpose, and basically it is the ability to meet the, I mean, stated purpose of education. What is the statement, vision statement of your institution? The Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya. What is your vision statement? What is the objective of your college? You have a vision statement. You have a objective, which is not, I mean, similar to Cooch Behar College, or similar to other college of your neighborhood, similar to other college of the Calcutta city. So your statement, your vision statement is critically, I mean, unique, and it is not, I mean, a replication of the other college. So that is very important issue of this, but defining the purpose of education or purpose of this particular higher education. Then the quality assurance, it is basically a process of continuous quality improvement. As I just said, as discussed, that it depends on different paradigm: stakeholder, academia, community, leadership. All these are important paradigm dimensions of quality. So it is a process of continuous quality. It is not that your NAAC assessment is due in the next say couple of months, and you sit together and start preparation for quality, I mean, achievement. No, it is not possible, because quality is a byproduct. It is a byproduct of your actions, and these actions are your indigenous actions. These actions are institutionalized. Every action of teaching learning, every action of your evaluation part, every action of your student support services, these should be a, I mean, institutionalized mechanism of the particular institution. And assessment, it is a process of evaluation of performance. So last comes this assessment. We talked about, I mean, RAF, revised accreditation framework, and the grade sheet. And the grade sheet is the ultimate assessment of the our performance. Now there are two important issues relating to the IQAC. As I said, IQAC is the entire brain of the institution, and IQAC should institutionalize and internalize all the initiative which are taken with internal and external support. You can take internal support. You have your internal support base, your students, your teachers, your alumni. I mean, your all the important components, and you can take the external support also. You can take the support from the other peers, other stakeholders, employers, community. So all these, I mean, forms the basis of your external support. And the main important functions of IQAC, as per the manual of IQAC of NAAC, that you are to develop a benchmark, quality benchmark. Suppose in your college, if you innovate something, if you have some best practices or unique practices, it is a benchmark for other colleges, right? So this, anything, any small thing, I just share you. I want to share one, I mean, unique activities of a particular college. 2-3 activities. Let me share. I visited one college in a remote part in a tribal state. Now, in that college, while entering the classroom, outside the classroom, I saw the list of students. Some list of students, some 6 or 7 students' names are there for that particular day. Now, then, after entering the class, I asked that particular class, students of that class, what is this list? So they say that these are the list of the students who are responsible for today's cleaning activities in the college, in the particular class. So they don't have safaiwala which are engaged by the college for cleaning the classroom. So safaiwala is not engaged or not hired for their classroom. So the students has a roster, daily roster is prepared, and that roster is displayed outside, and 4 or 5 students is given the responsibility every day, and the students used to clean the class of that particular day. So this is one of the very important, unique practice of that particular college. So this is a benchmark of that particular college, and which can be, comparable with other institutions. Let me give another example. Now, I visited another college, that to a rural college, and again, nowadays, with the, of course, that college is not so, in a remote college. It is a semi-urban place, college. So the students are nowadays so much addicted to these mobiles, internet, and all that, and that's why they are not interested to read library books. Now there is a critical challenge for the librarian, how to attract students in that particular college, so the students can visit in the library regularly. So what they devise, very interestingly, that every year they declare best student reader award, library reader award. Now I asked that particular librarian, what is the mechanism of that, and can you show us for the last 5 years how many students you have given the award? Immediately the librarian opened the register, and we have seen very beautifully that every day whoever visit the library, the students they visit the library, their names are entered, attendance is taken, and after this attendance, they take this attendance as a thumb rule, and how much time that particular student spend in this particular library, entry time and the exit time, and on the basis of these, they used to average the total number of attendance and the total number of books taken by that particular students, total number of books read by that particular students, because they have that mechanism of this particular recording, and on the basis of that, at the end of the year, in an annual function of the college, annual festival of the college, the best student awards are declared. So this is another uniqueness, and NAAC wants these things only. Don't try to compare your institution with any big institution with Calcutta. Don't try to compare your institution with any neighboring big institutions. You have your uniqueness, and NAAC criteria is so uniquely devised that it tries to capture the uniqueness of your college only. And it is not, when the grades are given, not on the basis of comparing with other college. Grades are given, the marks are given on the basis of the assessment of your achievement in your college only. So don't try to compare, but you try to develop the benchmark. You try to apply benchmark, quality benchmarks are there, and quality benchmark, you can take example of quality benchmark, and that is very, very important. Then you have to, these different parameters of academic and administrative activities, different activities you have, and as per the NAAC guidelines, you have to, these parameters are available. Then suddenly it stopped. Okay, suddenly.
Sir, please stop sharing and share again.
Okay, so is it all right?
No, sir, it's not coming. Stop sharing.
Stop sharing.
First you stop sharing. Then
Okay.
sharing again. Then share again.
Then
Go
share
to
again.
the Google meeting.
Suddenly it stopped. I don't know what is happening.
Someone presenting, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, someone presented, no? Okay.
Hello.
It is come?
Yes, it is.
It's coming, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir. Niron John, sir, just 1 minute, sir.
Yes.
Respected colleagues, you are again and again Respected colleagues, please listen to what I am telling. You have been earlier also told not to share anything when the respected resource persons are presenting. Why are doing so? In this portal only the college teachers are there, and it is really shameful that you are making such kind of mistakes. Okay, respected sir, please continue, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, so then the different parameters as per the NAAC guidelines, you will have your different parameters for various academic and administrative activities of your institution. Then you have to create a learner-centric environment. And since your college is a small college, you have more opportunity. In a big college, it is very difficult to create a learner-centric environment. There are various issues involved in that particular dimension. But in your college, you have the opportunity to create a learner-centered environment. Then feedback, as I am emphasizing again and again, try to collect feedback not only from students, but from all stakeholders, parents, alumni. You try to organize parent-teacher meet every year, and so that parents will also be aware about the feedback, and you circulate your feedback to different parents. Let hard copy be given to all the parents, all in the parent-teacher meet. When in 1 year, at the end of the year, if you call your all nearby parents, let them come, let them you have a meeting, formal meeting, and in that meeting you can circulate the feedback form, develop a small 1-page or 2-page feedback form for the parents. For the alumni, you have to call your alumni every year, and in the alumni meet you circulate your feedback form and collect the feedback and analyze this. Give responsibility to 1 or 2 teachers for analyzing the feedback collected from the parents, feedback collected from the alumni. These are not difficult tasks. Why I am emphasizing on it? Because it carries more weightage. You have marks on it. Since you have marks on it, and it carries it is not so difficult. So you try to emphasize on collecting feedback from different stakeholders, and then organizing workshop, seminar, whatever workshop today you are organizing. Then promotion of quality circle. Every month, try to organize quality circle on behalf of the IQAC. Take one particular issue or related to quality dimensions. Okay, teaching learning method. Say for example, teaching learning method, the blackboard teaching versus whiteboard teaching, or the ICT teaching. One particular topic you take, say ICT oriented teaching, and give one teacher a responsibility to present, and you discuss amongst yourself, amongst your teachers, and this will help you in devising the different activities regarding the promotion of quality circles. Then documentation is a very important part, as Dr. Ekre has highlighted this again and again. And each and every activity, each and every aspect needs to be documented. Then IQAC is a nodal agency of the institution. This is a very important. Then development and maintenance of database. You can develop your management information system, create a software. It is not so difficult things that you take help of a peer, take help of even a alumni. They will develop a software so that you can develop a management information system. What is management information system? It is a software and which will connect to different stakeholders. Your principal should know from a click of a button what is the fund available in different heads of account in your college now. Your principal should know what is the number of students discipline wise. This is a part of the management information system. You can devise this, and this is a part of the internal development. And the peer team will like to see the kind of culture, quality culture in your institution. And when the peer team will come, they will see all these details in that particular institution. As I said again and again that your institution, the uniqueness of your institution is specific to you only. Don't try to compare with others. Then academic and administrative audit, you should have at least 2 to 3 audit in a duration of 5 years. If it is possible, why not to have academic and administrative audit every year? Try to have academic and administrative audit. Academic audit, basically, you will get all, there's details from the NAAC website, the academic and administrative audit, which is basically the standing, where you stand. You have to analyze, you have to evaluate that where you stand. And last is the AQAR. AQAR, I will come to that particular point later. Now, these are the quality management principle. Commitment of management. This is a very, very important quality management principle. Identification of IQAC team. You have to build a team for IQAC. And I'm really happy that Dr. Azim has taken this lead for organizing this, workshop. But how many, even the big colleges are organizing workshop in this pandemic period? Because this pandemic has given us the opportunity to relook ourselves, to upscale ourselves. Okay, this is a time where you should build your capacity. This is a time you should build your specific skill. And necessity is the mother of invention. So we have a necessity, critical necessity. We have to perform our teaching learning activities through online mode. Every one of us, every teachers are taking classes online mode. So this time we have to build, and this is a really thanks to Dr. Azim and principal of the college for taking this initiative for organizing this workshop. Then you have to analyze your SOC. What is the strong points of your college? What are the weaknesses of your college? What are the opportunities of your college? And what are the challenges of your college? Why these are required? These are required not for comparing with other institutions. These are required basically to identify quality gaps. Because as I said, you cannot sit together, all of us today, and say, let us achieve quality. No, it is not possible. Quality is a journey. It is not a destination. You cannot define a destination for quality, but you can find the path for destination, journey towards quality's destination. So this is a very important path. Identification of path is very important, and quality gaps, identification of quality gaps is the most important part of your academic and administrative audit. Then formation of various committees, then awarding quality aspect. Many of the teachers are not aware, many of the students are not aware of about the NAAC assessment, NAAC details, tidbits. They are not aware. So we need to, the IQAC need to take up this awareness culture, awareness of quality aspect in the college. Then these are the most important composition of IQACs: head of the institution, then teachers, then management, then non-teaching staff, society, students, alumni. As I said, the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Your students, your society, alumni, all are your stakeholders. Your employers, industrialists, stakeholders, they are also stakeholders. So you need representative from society or students, alumni. You need representative from employers, industrialists, stakeholders. You may not have industrialist from your locality, but you have a stakeholders. You have a representative from community, and keep them in the IQAC committee and IQAC coordinator. And PR team would like to see the composition of committee, IQAC, whether it is at par with NAAC guidelines or not. And this entire paradigm of IQAC, because as I said again and again, IQAC is the most important organ of the college, and IQAC needs to be revamped. If your brain is focused, sharp, then college will automatically be sharp. And you see, this defining the objective of the institution. As I said, your objective, your vision, mission statement is your goals are completely unique, and you have to define these objectives of the institution. Then work plan. Accordingly, you have to make a plan to achieve these objectives. Suppose if you have your vision mission of the college, I don't know what is the vision mission of your college, but if you have the vision mission of the college that to enhance the capabilities of the students of the neighborhood or the rural students, to make them employable, to build them critical skills. If we have a vision like this, then you have to target for making a work plan to achieve them. Then devotion IQAC is very important part, because all these two part, objectives and work plan, these actually leads to checks and balance to evaluate the achievement. That how to checks and balance to identify the gaps in the quality, and how you can checks and balance, how you identify your balances, how you identify your gaps. Only principal can say that what are the problems in the administration. Only principal, a teacher can say what is the problem faced by a particular student. Only the teacher of a particular subject, economics teacher, can say that what are the problems faced by the students of that economics class for a particular issue. So these checks and balance will come from two important issues: devotion and commitment. You have to devote yourself, and you have to commit. And commitment is a very important issue of the IQAC. And these two ultimately lead to byproduct. The byproduct is quality assurance. So this quality assurance should not be top, right? It should come as a fallout of all these important components. So automatically, if you institutionalize, if you internalize the best practices, unique practices, automatically you will find your college will get good grade, your college will get good marks in the assessment. And if you sit together and suppose your assessment is due for within 2 months or 3 months, and you try to complete everything within 2-3 months, no, it will never happen. And you should target that our quality is a byproduct, quality assurance is a byproduct, all the initiative taken by the institution from different stakeholders, from different components. And it is, as I said, teachers, students, alumni, community, everyone will have to come together to build capacity in the institution. And how you can assess your quality gap in a particular year. As we know that every year we will have to submit annual quality assurance, annual report of the college. So every year we have to submit, and this particular annual quality assurance report, the part A of the report is basically the basic details. Part A is basically basic details, and the part 2 is basically, I don't know what happens. Someone again.
Sir, your screen is visible. Just make it full screen, sir.
Yeah. Suddenly it stops. I don't know. Suddenly it stops. Okay. So the part A is the basic details of your institution. You will find the format in the NAAC website, annual quality assurance report. Part B is the criterion-wise segregated information. And every year, an annual quality assurance report you have to upload to the NAAC website after your accreditation is done. And this is the basic requirement. Without this, your accreditation will not be proceeded further, and it will not be processed by the NAAC. So this is very important, and you try to take note of it. And now coming to some of the important issues relating to the distribution of weightage across the indicators, and what Dr. Hegre has highlighted some of these important issues. Now you see, your college is affiliated college. Now in a affiliated college, there are three important categories of the higher education institution, general category of higher education institution: universities, autonomous colleges, affiliated and constituent colleges. Now, first is the criteria is curricular aspect. Now, in this curricular aspect, what are the marks we have? 150 marks we have. Now, there are, four important key indicators. This is called key indicators. This is curricular aspect is a criteria 1, and out of this criteria 1, we have four important key indicators. Now, for curricular design and development, it is not applicable for your institution, because your institution is not designing curriculum. Your institution is a curriculum taker. You are adopting curriculum from your parent university. So your parent university is actually designing the curriculum. Then curricular planning and implementation. But this curriculum planning and implementation, you have an important role to play, because some of your teachers may be the members of the board of studies in the university. So curriculum planning, you may have a role to play in the curriculum planning. And implementation. Implementation is what is the curricular implementation framework in the college. There are some quantitative aspects and qualitative issues in that particular key indicators you will find from the SSR format. If once you go to SSR format, you will find the questions. Then academic flexibility. The 30 marks is given. Curriculum, what is the academic flexibility? How you give it the flexibility to different students, different students in pursuing their program. Say for example, a BA student you have, whether you are giving weightage, whether you are giving a scope for any other course in the college that you run, add-on courses or any extra courses, and here lies the importance of our national education policy. Now, national education policy says there will be no barrier between arts, science and commerce. First thing. Second thing, it says there will be no division between extracurricular, co-curricular and extension activities. Now all these will be a part of your curricular aspects. Now suppose a student is doing NSS activities. Nowadays a student, if he is involved in NSS activities, he is not getting extra weightage for NSS activities or NCC activities. Now as part of the curricular aspects, as part of the national education policy, when it will be implemented, you will find the student can adopt NCC course, a student can take NSS course, a student can take computer literacy as a particular course. So this is the part of the academic flexibility, how flexible you are so far as the students curricular aspect is concerned. Curricular and enrichment. What are the enrichment? There are some bullets you will find, there are some questions you will find from the NAAC manual for self-study reports. Some questions are there about the curricular enrichment. Feedback system. Here you will have to answer what are the mechanism of feedback, whether you are collecting feedback only from the students, whether you are collecting feedback from alumni, parents, then other stakeholders. If you yes, then you will get 20 out of 20. If not, if you collect feedback from 10 only students, then you will get less marks here accordingly. So this is the first criteria. Criteria 2, teaching, learning and evaluation. Now in this teaching, learning and evaluation, these universities, autonomous colleges, affiliated colleges, again, see the student enrollment and profile. What are the mechanism of student enrollment, student admission? What is the process? Whether you are giving equal opportunities to different students. I mean, so far as the enrollment is concerned. So here you see 30 marks for affiliated colleges. Catering to student diversity. Okay, then these different categories of the students for the different social backgrounds. Then the we have the students with special needs, and how you are catering to students diversity in the college, whether you have special facilities for the students with special needs or not. So these actually see 50 marks given for this. Then teaching learning process, what are the system in the teaching learning process in your college? Teachers profile and quality, 80 marks for the college. And here this teachers profile and quality, try to understand. You will find the questions in the quantitative metrics. How many teachers who are having PhDs, who are having MPhil, who are having basic degree, or how many teachers you have with refresher course, orientation course, etc. Everything you will find in this particular key indicators. Then evaluation process and reforms. What are the system followed in the university? Basically, evaluation process, evaluation system. A college should follow the guidelines of the university. But what is the mechanism in the college? How your college is redressing to the student grievances? For so far as the, suppose a student have a particular grievance of a student, how you redress, what are the mechanism of redressing the grievances of the student so far as the evaluation is concerned. So that contains 50 marks. Then student performance and learning outcomes. You see here 40 marks. Here lies your pass out performance. What is the performance of students? What is the percentage of pass of the students? You will have the questions like this. What is the pass percentage of the college during the last 5 years and all that? So these questions, quantitative questions you will get. I think 1 or 2 qualitative aspect is also there. Then student satisfaction survey, see 50 marks. For university it is only 30, but for college it is 50. So for your college, the weightage is more for student satisfaction survey, and all this total is 350. Score is 350. Then criteria 3 is research, innovation, and extension. Here, promotion of research and facilities, you don't have any weightage. You don't. I mean, it is not expected that a college should have research facilities, or college is promoting researches. No, this is not expected. But if you look at these criteria, key indicators, in criteria 3, these key indicators, resource mobilization and research, it is having 10 marks. But where from you will get these marks? You don't have any research facilities. You are not promoting research in the college. But here lies the importance of the faculty members so far as undertaking project work is concerned. So faculty members can apply for projects, ICSSR project, UGC project, or other agencies project, whatever facilities you have. There are so many agencies nowadays we will have. So all teachers are expected to undertake project. If a substantial number of teachers are undertaking project, so there is a resource mobilization by the college, and the college will get marks in this particular key indicators. Then innovation ecosystem. What is the innovation facilities you have in your college? Definitely, it is not expected to have state-of-the-art innovation facilities in your college like that of a urban college. But a mofussil college, you have to have a ecosystem in tune with the environmental facilities, in taking the climate change issues, in taking the solar energy. Okay, what is the innovation ecosystem you have in the college? Then research, publications and awards, consultancy, it is not required in your college. Extension activities, you see 60 marks, highest marks is given for extension activities. What is the extension activities? You have a lot of opportunities to undertake extension activities, in the nearby villages, nearby urban areas, nearby semi-urban areas. Adopt the village, 1 or 2 village, let us let the NSS unit or let any department can adopt one or two villages and send your student on Sundays to do some works, and this is a part of your extension activities. Then collaboration with other institution, this is also very important for this particular criteria. 120. See, for university it is 250, for autonomous college it is 150, but for affiliated colleges it is 120. Then physical facilities, it is 30, library facilities 20, IT infrastructure 30, maintenance of the campus infrastructure then 20, it is 100, so 100 marks. Then criteria 5, that it is student support, then student progression, student participation, student support facilities. What are the facilities you are extending to the students? Your common room facilities for the girl students, sports facilities for the students. So whatever support facilities, you have a suppose you have a field for the student, playground. These are all support services. Then student progression. Then how you are monitoring the progress of your passed out students. If you have, how you are tracking your alumni, what mechanism you have. So it is it is 50, 45. Then student participation in activities, in different activities, alumni engagement. This is also very newly introduced. What is the contribution of alumni in your college? You will have specific questions to answer as part of your quantitative and qualitative metrics from these your from the SSR, self-study report. Then this governance, leadership, management, total having 100 marks. Basically your institutional vision and leadership, strategy development and deployment, faculty empowerment strategies, whether faculty members are getting leave for their orientation courses, refresher courses. So this is basically faculty empowerment strategies, strategy deployment, how you have the strategies for empowering your faculty for these teaching learning activities. Suppose nowadays we are taking the online classes, how your faculty members are equipped to the new system with this Zoom, this Google Meet and all that. And I am sure that since you are using this platform, you have some modalities in your college. So these things needs to be highlighted, and documentation is very important. As I said, the peer team would like to see all documents, and when the DBB partner will intervene, once you submit the quantitative metrics, the DBB partner will try to call you and try to gather all documents, and you need to submit different documents. So documentation is very, very important. If you purchase Google Suite, when you purchase Google Suite, and how you are giving access to your teachers, how many users are there, try to maintain a logbook. Why not maintain a logbook and try to capture picture from this and make a database for these particular issues. Then internal quality assurance system, financial management, and all these are part of the college. Then institutional values and best practices. This is a very important, that two important issues which is newly introduced, and where lies the strong points of your institution needs to be highlighted. Institutional values and social responsibilities. Here, basically, the importance is given for environmental consciousness. How your institution is awareing the neighborhood about the climate change issues, about the environmental protection. Okay, so these here you can score full marks, because your institute, because here there is no question of any benchmarking, there is no question of anything comparable. And then best practices, two best practices of your college you need to highlight, which having 30 marks. And institutional distinctiveness, whatever I have already pointed out, that institutional distinctiveness is related to your institution only, that is innovations of your institution and how your institution is distinct and unique compared to, and not compared, unique in the context of higher education. And institutional values and best practices, what are the important values and best practices? Gender equity, what are the questions that you will come across from the SSR? I have taken it from SSR. Women appointed in, what are the proportion of the women teacher in your college, non-teaching staff, gender sensitization program organized by the institution, whether you have a gender cell or not, whether you have a this ICC, Internal Complaints Committee, as per the Act of Government of India, and gender sensitivity in social securities, counseling, common room for the girl students. All these carry actually marks, and all these needs to be documented. Then environmental consciousness, as I said, is a very unique. And what are the environmental consciousness? Alternative energies initiative, say replacement of bulbs, traditional bulbs, tube lights with CFL LED bulbs. What you have done in your college, what are the awareness campaign you have taken in the nearby neighborhood, whether your NSS or other organ of the college students have taken up this awareness campaign or not. So these things actually, gives you more and more higher weightage in the assessment. And conventional energy sources, whether you have given importance to solar energy, energy audit of the institution, then waste management, what are the system? You have lot of vacant space, you have lot of opportunities for waste management, how you are, and you need documentation. What are the policy adopted by the college for recycling of waste, solid waste and liquid waste, e-waste, then rainwater harvesting structure in the college. All these I have taken from the manual of SSR. And the green practices, by use of bicycle by the staff, then public transport, pedestrian friendly, plastic free compass, all you need to actually answer from the SSR. Paperless office, as I said, management information system, then green landscaping with trees and plants, budget for green initiative, at least some budget you should earmark, then differently abled the facilities, that is facilities for the special needs students, resources available in the institution, physical facilities, provision for lift, ramp. These are, all these are not maybe relevant, but you have to identify which are relevant and you have to justify. That is very important. And what is the institutional distinctiveness? That one best practice of your institution you have to highlight. Anything which you think that very important for the neighborhood, for the particular area of uniqueness, that you can identify. Then what is your contribution to rural development or tribal upliftment, if it is relevant to you? Women empowerment, minority empowerment, skill development, vocational education, all these are part of the institutional distinctiveness. And you have to find what is the strong points you have. That is very important. You may not be strong in all indicators, but you may be strong in some indicators. So please try to identify the strong indicators what you have. And it is, don't think that you can score marks from all key indicators. No, it is not possible. But try to bank upon, try to give more and more importance on the indicators which are very relevant to you, and whereby you can strengthen that particular indicator. So basically, what at the end of the day, what we need to do, we need to bridge the quality gap. So closing quality gap is the ultimate aim of the institution. So this is not that if you get A grade that you have achieved something. No. If you get B grade, you have achieved something. No. You have just closed the quality gap. This is the most important issue. And for a fair selection, everybody has to take same exam, and that all are given the task that you have to climb that trees. So I mean, not the, I mean, everyone across the board. I mean, you have to climb the tree, and quality not a destination. As I said again and again, it is only a journey. And in this journey, I think we have to be very, very important. I mean, focus on identification of these particular strong points, weak points, and opportunities and the challenges. This is very important, that your strong points you identify, 5 6 7 strong points you identify. Don't try to jump on getting marks from all indicators, no. And that is why academic and administrative audit is a very important. Academic and administrative audit actually will give you a focused approach of a path of your journey. With this, thank you very much. I think I have taken little more time than 1 hour
No, sir.
15 minutes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Sir, there are several questions to you, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Sir, would you amplify on the academic audit? Actually, my college also want to conduct academic audit before the visit of the NAAC peer team, or before the assessment in the year 2021, sir. Would you tell?
Yes. I'll
Academic audit.
Okay. So this is a very important question. As I said, NAAC expects that within a period of 5 years, you should at least conduct 2 to 3 academic and administrative audit. Now, academic and administrative audit, there are 2 important ways of conducting an academic and administrative audit. Recently, I was a part of external committee for conducting academic and administrative audit for 2-3 universities, and we have conducted the academic and administrative audit. Now, as I said, that you can invite external peers, external members, 2-3 members you can invite, and you can invite from nearby colleges even. Okay, from your Cooch Behar town or Jalpaiguri different colleges, you can select 2-3 peers and you can invite for academic audit. Now, what are the important parameters to be used for this assessment of academic audit, academic and administrative audit? Now, academic and administrative audit is basically a mini SSR kind of thing, and you can simplify the 7 criteria and make it a bullet points, identification of bullet points. And if you visit the NAAC website, you will get the format of academic and administrative audit, right? Which is I mean combination of some quantitative metrics and the qualitative metrics, right? So this academic audit, the committee will visit. Before inviting academic audit, the IQAC will definitely frame the self-study report, type a report to be placed to the academic and administrative committee. And committee, if you send it to committee beforehand, they will study, they will come, and on the basis of this, they will visit the on-site, and they will see the different administrative units, academic units, and they will like to see what is the achievement, what is the status on different criteria of your quality orientation is concerned. That is the main purpose of, actually it is called academic and administrative audit. However, for a college, administrative units are very small. I understand. For university, administrative units are very big. Now, for a college, if the office is very small, so give more importance on academic audit. You can have academic audit only. Instead of academic and administrative audit, you can have only academic audit. But my suggestion is that if you undertake both academic and administrative audit from the perspective of NAAC, it will be very, very good, because it will give you a holistic assessment of your administration, finance, the system in the college, of the governance, everything it will give. So you, before calling NAAC, call 2 or 3 experts, those who are NAAC assessors. I'm sure you will get from Calcutta or Cooch Behar or from Jalpaiguri. You will definitely get. It is better to take 2-3 peers. They are teachers basically. They are peers. They are not. Inspectors. So call them one day for 1 day or 2. It is your college is small. I understand. So it is 1 day is sufficient. So call them for 1 day, and they will go through the different units, both academic and administration units, and they will submit a report, and that will go a long way in preparation of your self-study report and also the NAAC visit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, another question, sir, and this question is a little bit tricky, sir.
Yeah, please say.
Sir, in case of SSA, student satisfactory survey, sir, satisfaction survey, if 2 students reply in just in a two opposite way, suppose how the classes are conducted, how much marks you will award. If a student, if 2 different students are asked, one says that 100% classes are conducted, taken by the teachers. Another student say that no, classes are not conducted. Actually, that student do not regularly attend the class. How NAAC will evaluate such kind of questions, sir, in SSS?
Yes, a very good question. Very good question. Actually, see, before the introduction of student satisfaction survey,
Yes.
now while since I was a part of this entire formulation of revised accreditation framework, in course of that discussion, I have seen that there are a lot of issues come up regarding the student satisfaction survey, the feedback. Now, before the introduction of RAF, the student satisfaction survey, we had the system of collecting feedback by the college, and the college used to collect feedback from the particular student, a group of students, and when the NAAC peer team visits, then the feedback results were handed over to the students and peer team, and peer team go through that particular feedback of the students, and the peer team used to verify, because the main purpose of the visit of the peer team is to verification. Now peer team we used to verify from the cross discussion with the students. We used to have students meeting separately in a closed door, and with this closed door meeting, we used to find out what is the situation in the college about the teaching, learning, and all other situations are concerned. Now, this particular student satisfaction survey, online student satisfaction survey, has been introduced with 21 questions, and these 21 questions are available in the NAAC website. You will see. So, what are the questions? That what is the percentage of the course is covered? You will find one question like this, where 80% above, less than 80%, like this. So whether what is the classes taken, as you said, 100%, 80%. Now, a student who is a defaulter, he is not regular. If he is not regular attending the college, definitely he will not answer positively, because he don't know, he don't have the idea. Now here lies a very important issue for the college is concerned. Now technically, I am sure that every university, as per the UGC guideline, you are to consider the students who are having at least 75 to 80% attendance. Without 75 to 80% attendance, a student is not to be sent up for examination. So here lies the tricks. Now that is why while selecting the students, you have to select your bona fide students. Now, because the email ID of the student you have to submit. Now you have to submit who are your bona fide students. If a student is not attending 30% classes or 20% classes, he is not your student. He is a defaulter. So why you should select the defaulter students? So try to find out which students are actually will be, going to take up examination, going to attend the examination as part of the guidelines of the university. And accordingly, you select the students who are bona fide students and send their email ID to NAAC. And NAAC will automatically, select these students. Number one. Number two, even if your selection of the students after this, if there is a variation, someone gives 80%, someone gives 20%, someone gives nil, because all students are not same satisfaction. So satisfaction differs. So here there will be averaging. These marks will be average. Average of the value will be taken by the system. No one will interfere. The system will take care, and system will, nowadays what is happening, you see, everything is so system enabled. Now, once you submit quantitative metrics, system will automatically calculate the values. Then your DBB process will start, right? Once the DBB process verifies, then your system will calculate the values for quantitative metrics. Then your student satisfaction survey, then the qualitative aspect by the peer team visit. Now all these are, for even the peer team visit, when we visit the institution, we have to upload the score, not in the system only. Your college portal will be there. In the portal, we have to upload the marks. So these are all these technology driven, because it is technology is neutral, is not it? There will be no there will be no biasness by that technology. So that is very, very important. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Principal, sir.
Hi, Azim. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. No, I have got no question.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. But actually, we are getting out of time. It is perhaps 1:34.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
So, with your consent, should I start the vote of thanks?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Niron John Roy, sir. Thanks a lot. And I hope in future we will get a lot of suggestion from you. I will try to consult with you, sir.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes. Whatever you require, make contact.
okay, sir. Now it is time of vote of thanks, and I would like to request Shati Banerjee, Assistant Professor of our college, to deliver
Hello.
vote of thanks. Hello, you are audible. Okay, Shati, continue.
Okay. Good afternoon. It has been already mentioned that NAAC accreditation or reaccreditation is an integral part of functioning of higher education institutions in India, which determines the quality of the institutions in terms of education, infrastructure, teaching, learning, etc. Now, with the generous encouragement and support from the NAAC Bengaluru, Karnataka, IQAC Netaji Subhas Mahavidyalaya, Haldibari, one-day webinar on NAAC accreditation process was successfully completed today on 10th September 2020, which would definitely help us to understand the very essence of the process and new guidelines to follow. However, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, I would like to propose hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Devkumar Mukhopadhyay, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Cooch Behar Panchanan Burma University, West Bengal, for gracing today's webinar. Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking inaugural address, and I'm sure that all the participants have taken note of your suggestions. Now, I'd like to thank our distinguished speakers, Dr. Ganesh Hegre, Advisor NAAC, Bengaluru, Karnataka, Professor Niron John Roy, Department of Economics, former Director, IQAC, former Dean, MD, School of Economics and Commerce, Assam University, for making excellent presentations and making this webinar interesting and meaningful by sharing with us graceful opinion. I would like to express our profound gratitude to our principal, Chairman IQAC, Dr. Torun Bandyopadhyay, for his encouraging presence in this webinar. I appreciate the hard work of the technical support team for providing excellent facilities for the webinar. And I would like to thank the coordinator IQAC for making this webinar a great success. And I also want to thank all of the members IQAC, all the teachers for their cooperation, and finally the wonderful students who have turned up in such a great numbers. So once again, I thank all of the participants for your cordial cooperation. Stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sati. And thank you, Niron John sir. And before that, I want to say sorry to all the participants because I could not, or we could not keep them in Google Meet due to some technical reasons. So thanks a lot, all the participants and principal and Niron John sir, Hegde sir, and all my colleagues, non-teaching, teaching, all of them. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Now I am quitting.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Should I stop the recording?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, sir. শুভঙ্কর লাইভ বন্ধ করে জানাও।
15 seconds delay আছে।